All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the first live stream of Talkback Sports. Been making videos for a little bit over a year now, but this is going to be my first time ever doing a live stream. Today, I just wanted to watch some of the games with you guys. First game in our early window is going to be the Pistons and the Pacers. That game is going to tip off in just a few minutes, but until then, I just want to go over some of the games last night. I had a really fun time watching it. I didn't really realize how much I missed NBA basketball until the games yesterday, but now it looks like. Let's talk about this first game. The Boston Celtics just completely obliterated the New York Knicks. I don't know anyone who is expecting that result to happen, but yes, the Knicks looked okay. I'll say that. Especially in the early game, they looked very sloppy on offense. A lot of guys kind of bumping into each other, not a lot of movement off the ball. Unless the ball was really in Jalen Brunson's hands, not a lot of things were going on here. But for the Celtics, man, their three-point shooting was ridiculous. It feels almost unfair that a team so balanced and so well-made is able to shoot the three ball like that. And last year, I know they were like that. I believe they were top 3 in three-point percentage as a team. But Jason Tatum, as you can see from that box score, had a game, 37 points, 14 for 18 from the field. He was just ridiculous if you watched that game. 8 for 11 from 3, as you see down here. 29 for 61 from 3-point. That's 47.5% compared to the Knicks' 11 for 30. The Celtics, man, they just looked unbeatable in almost every regard. And as far as a title defense on opening night, that's one of the most dominant performances I can ever remember seeing just on opening night. As for the Knicks, obviously there's going to be a lot of things to adjust, and unfortunately, the Celtics are probably the worst case scenario opponent to have in that game one. The Knicks have a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to gel with, but ultimately, for game one, they have a lot of film to look back on and a lot of things to work on. As you can see here, OG Anunoby, 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. You could feel that in the game. He was not doing anything offensively. You're just going to need a little bit more from a guy who you traded and who you gave a max contract in the offseason. You're going to need a little bit more from that guy. Karl Anthony Towns only played 24 minutes. I didn't expect too much from him because he was only traded to the Knicks a couple of weeks ago. By the way, I've come up with a thing called the Damian Lillard theory. If you get traded a couple weeks out from the season, probably not going to be best that first season. Karl Anthony Towns wasn't bad offensively, definitely lacked a little bit of aggression, and on defense, he was just atrocious. So maybe a Rudy Gobert merchant. That kind of feels weird to say, but Karl Anthony Towns overall is going to have some things to work on. But I'm not going to judge the Knicks too much here. This is their first game together as a team, but you could definitely tell they were missing Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle there. Overall, like to see a little bit of a better effort from both teams, a little bit better effort from the Knicks. The Celtics just looked incredible, and this is all without Kristaps Porzingis. So, is it too early to call them the next champions? Absolutely yes, but for the sake of overreacting, no. Let's talk about this second game here. Lakers and the Timberwolves. Probably the surprise of the night to many, even with the Celtics beating the Knicks by, 23 points. The Lakers looked incredible. And we saw some things in the preseason that could have hinted towards that, but I don't think anything could have hinted towards them looking this great in the regular season. JJ Redick has done wonders to that offense and to the scheme in general. They only shot 5 for 30 from the three-point line, as you can see right there, but they had a lot of open looks that they just could not capitalize on. When those shots start going in, the Lakers are going to be tough to beat. I promise you that. And what I'd like to highlight here is Anthony Davis, 36 points, 16 rebounds. This is officially his team. I'm not even afraid to say it. This is officially Anthony Davis's team. They were running the offense through him, and he was dominating against Rudy Gobert, who's one of the best defenders in the league. Anthony Davis looked incredible. As you can also see, though, 15 free throw attempts. That's what you like to see from Anthony Davis. You like to see him be aggressive, go to the basket, stop settling, and he was doing just that in this game, and he looked like that New Orleans version that we all want to see. Now, for the Timberwolves, a lot left to be desired, specifically defensively, a lot of sloppy rotations, a lot of miscues, and I understand that as well. just like with the Knicks, the Timberwolves are going through a major change in their franchise. So I understand why maybe they aren't going to go off to the best start. But overall, Anthony Edwards taking 25 shots, probably not ideal for that game one. And it's probably not a good sign for the future. But let me also say Julius Randle, man, it says +2 right there on the plus minus. No, that was not good. That was definitely not a +2. He was terrible on both sides of the ball. He lacked aggression, and when he was aggressive, it was just awful. So you'd obviously like to see more from a guy who was the centerpiece of a trade for your franchise star. But overall, Julius Randle is going to have a lot to work on. Same with Dante DiVincenzo. You can see here 3 for 11 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. That's just not going to cut it. We're going to need more from both of those guys if the Timberwolves want to be known as serious contenders as they were last year. Overall, though, this is about the Lakers, not about the Timberwolves. Bronny got some minutes, good for him. But overall, the team looked just incredible. And I didn't have many high expectations for the Lakers heading into the season. But after this showing, man. And let me also talk about Rui Hachimura for a second. He was also incredible. His isolation scoring was great. I felt like he could get into the mid-range with ease and hit that jumper. And it was just smooth. It was efficient. It was effective. Everything about this Lakers game was just great. And I hate to glaze the two most popular teams in the league, but it's true. Both the Celtics and the Lakers looked very good. And if the Lakers can clean up that three-point shooting, as I said earlier, 5 from 30 from 3, man, they're going to be a tough team to beat. Now, as for the playoffs, I don't know. And also, don't want to overreact to game one. But just based off of the changes made in game one and based off of the team that the Lakers have been for the past couple of years, this is a great step forward. Honestly, Anthony Davis, if he can continue on this path, I can't believe I'm saying this, potentially the MVP of the league. Right now, if you were to give the MVP to anyone from these past 2 games, it's probably Tatum with that 37, 10, and 4, 8 for 11 from 3. But if you were to give a second place, it's definitely Anthony Davis, and I would not mind you arguing that he was the best player from both games last night. So that's a little recap of both the games, just some of my thoughts. Right now, it looks like the Pistons-Pacers game is about to start. We're not too far away from that game finally tipping off. As you can see from the injury report here, Asar Thompson not playing. That's going to be a little bit of a loss for them. Isaiah Jackson not playing for the Pacers. That's not the biggest of deals, honestly. I saw Obi Toppin was on the injury report. Good to see him off of it. This game, Indiana Pacers favored by 5.5 points. That feels a little low. I don't know if that's just me or not, but this is also the same Pistons team that lost, 27 games in a row last year? Honestly, I don't know why it's only 5.5, and also the over-under at 235.5, that feels a little low. The Pacers are going to run. They're going to push the tempo, and it will be very interesting to see how both of these teams perform. The Pistons obviously firing Monty Williams in the offseason, hiring J.B. Bickerstaff. Now, I am not the biggest J.B. Bickerstaff fan, but anything other than Monty Williams is honestly just good for this franchise, and I'm glad that they could find someone that could hopefully build a culture there. They have a lot of pieces. They just don't have a culture. They don't have an identity. And I don't know how much longer the Pistons can go without building that identity. So if JB Bickerstaff isn't the one to do it, then this Pistons team is going to be in a whole lot of trouble. As for the Pacers, obviously they made the conference finals last year. High expectations on this team. It's a young core. They've developed another offseason. Rick Carlisle is still one of the best head coaches in the league, and you get a full year now with the Pascal Siakam situation. He was just acquired in the offseason, given an extension. Now we will see how he will perform for a full season with the Pacers after an offseason to gel with Halliburton and with the rest of the group. Looks like they're doing introductions now for the starting lineup for the Pistons. And yeah, just before this game starts, just a quick reminder, go ahead and like this video or like this stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. And we're doing this live stream for fun, not for numbers. So any and all support would be greatly appreciated, but honestly, it's not the biggest deal. Just here to watch some games and hang out, really. Looks like Ron Holland is getting introduced right now. I'm not sure if these are the starters. In fact, I'm not. No, it looks like it's just going to be the whole team. So they're introducing the whole team now. Malik Beasley coming out right now. It is 6:09. I was expecting this game to start a little bit late, but not this late. So we will see when they actually do start this game. Pacers predicted to win, 58.9% chance to win. Again, that feels a little low. This is a team just made the conference finals, looked very good against the Knicks and the Bucks in the first round of the playoffs. I am very excited for the Pacers. Last year, I feel like I was one of the few in the preseason that had the hype on the Pacers, that understood that, hey, maybe this team could actually do something, and they did. Was it due to injuries partially? Maybe, but overall, I feel like what the Pacers did is just a great step for this organization. It's going to be a great step for the future. So I am extremely excited to see what this organization does this season and for those seasons in the future. Looks like we're still introducing the lineup for the Pacers. Jaden Ivey coming out right now, so it can't be too many more people. Looks like Tim Hardaway Jr. is already in his uniform. Everyone else is in their warm-up suit. Yeah. Pistons obviously have a lot of, not high expectations, but expectations to actually do something here. You'd love to see it. It does look like a sellout crowd for Detroit, so good for them. And I do like that they did acquire some veterans. Tobias Harris, definitely a controversial figure in the NBA world, though. He definitely has the experience in the veteran leadership that the Pistons did not have at all last year. So, even the assistant coaches, they have Jared Jack as an assistant coach. Shout out. Luke Walton is on that bench. Just some guys who have been in the NBA before, not only as players, but also as coaches. So it's going to be interesting to see where the Pistons go. Hopefully this game tips off. Oh, nope. Tobias Harris is going on the mic now. Nice. I don't know why he would be the one going on the mic. Well, I guess he was on the Pistons beforehand. So, like I said earlier, Asar Thompson is out this game. I don't know how many minutes he would get. I don't know if he would start. I'll be honest, I haven't watched any Pistons preseason games. Sorry, sue me. But no, I'm just curious to see what the starting lineup looks like. I haven't read anything about this team at all. Looks like Ivy, of course, starting. Duran, Hardaway Jr. Looks like it'll be Tobias as well, and of course, Cade Cunningham. Looks like we're finally going to start tip-off in just a little bit. Like I said, thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me while we're watching these games today. They're highlighting the top 5 picks in Detroit Pistons last 4 years. Cade, Jaden, Asar, and Ron now. Ron Holland, of course. I'm very curious to see what Ron Holland looks like. He's definitely a very raw prospect. He's not starting today, but he will, of course, get some minutes today as a top 5 pick on a struggling team, to say the least. Showing Jalen Duren now. Obviously, great player. Young guy. Probably a sneaky bet to lead the league in rebounds. I wouldn't personally bet it, but I know for a fact that he's going to get up there with rebounds if he can stay healthy. That's probably one of the major concerns with him. So we will see what happens here. It looks like we are dangerously close to tip-off finally after stalling for 12 minutes. So classic NBA, let me say. Classic for them to stall through through the introductions and make us wait 13 minutes for the game to start. So classic NBA. We are about ready to tip off in just a second. We're still doing handshakes, still greeting other players. Like I said, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Just here to hang out with you guys, watching the early window games. And of course, we're starting with the Pacers and the Pistons playing today. There's Tobias Harris. Looks like we are about ready for tip-off right now. Myles Turner, Jalen Duren getting ready. There's the opening tip. Looks like the Pistons got the ball. We have Cade Cunningham coming down the court. Cade Cunningham coming down the court. I'm curious what the spacing is going to look like for this Pacers team. As you can see here, ESPN is updating here. It looks like Tim Hardaway Jr. just did hit a three-pointer to open up the scoring. That's great. Cade Cunningham with the assist. Yeah, it looks like Tyrese did miss that three-pointer. We have a lot going on right now. Sorry, my stream is a little bit behind. Give me just 1 second. Buffering just a little bit. Of course, I do all that preview and it buffers now. All right, looks like we are caught up now. Jalen Duren is a beast on the boards. It's honestly surprising how great he is in that aspect. But just looking here at the box score to your left, Tim Hardaway Jr. did hit that three. That's one of the storylines heading into the season that I was very concerned about. What the Pistons would do in regards to the spacing. They did draft Ron Holland. That scared me for the direction of the franchise and what they would do, but they signed some good free agents. Looks like Andrew Nembhard hit a shot. Cade Cunningham goes down, gets blocked by Tyrese Halliburton. Looks like they get the ball back. It's a very good play by Tyrese coming from behind, getting that block, and it looks like it will be Pistons ball. They're out of bounds right now, a little out of bounds play. Bickerstaff, obviously in his first year as a head coach with the Pistons. Used to coach with Cleveland now. And that's another three-pointer for Tim Hardaway. Wow. That is incredible from Tim Hardaway right there. As you can see here, Tim Hardaway, that's already his second made three-pointer of the game. We got Nembhard driving down to the basket. Little pull-up mid-range. That is no good off the back iron. Though Siakam gets the rebound. And Nembhard gets stripped by Tobias Harris. I like the aggression from the three-point line here from the Pistons. Tobias Harris, he did miss that wide-open three in the corner, but I like the aggression here. It's something that we didn't really see from the Pistons last year. That lack of shooting was really hurting them. Now, getting Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr., he will take threes. Will they make it? Who knows? But they will take the threes. That is very interesting and good. Cade Cunningham does get charged with the shooting foul here. Looks like Andrew Nembhard is coming to the line. Does sink the first free throw. As you can see up here, they've taken 3 shots. That's that Tobias Harris shot that I told you that he missed. Tim Hardaway does hit 2 shots from the wing as Andrew Nembhard hits that second free throw. My stream is a little bit behind, so I apologize. Though it does look like Cunningham goes down the floor, passes it off to Hardaway, takes the 3. He does get it off the back iron, but Jalen Duren gets it. Passes it off to Tobias Harris, who gets the layup. Jalen Duren is a beast in the boards. Is that rebound 3 for Jalen Duren? Yes, rebound number 3, including that offensive one that leads to an assist. The Pistons looking very solid right here. Nembhard wide open for 3, little short. Rebounded. Actually, that's going to be off of Miles Turner, and the Pistons will get the ball here. Great start for the Pistons this season. Overall, really good start to the season. We have Jaden Ivey bringing the ball up. I'm curious to see how JB Bickerstaff will incorporate Jaden Ivey here. He almost just dunked it on Miles Turner, but it does get rejected. I believe it may be a foul on Miles Turner. He almost just yammed it on Miles Turner. He gets fouled by Aaron Nesmith. I apologize. That would have been a crazy highlight in the first week. However, Andrew Nesmith's foul makes it so that is not possible. We have Jaden Ivey at the free throw line here. Free throw number 1 is good. So, great start for the Pistons here so far. Overall, just a really good sign to see the Pistons getting off to a good start. Obviously, after last season's very disappointing season, you'd like to see them improve a lot. And it looks so far like they're doing pretty good as Ivy hits that second free throw. All right, down the floor, we have the Pacers with the ball. Aaron Nesmith driving down the lane. A lot of good rotations here from the Pistons. A lot of just active defenders here. This is what you like to see. And Jalen Duren forces Miles Turner to step out of bounds here. I believe he was traveling. But even so, Miles Turner, that would have been a turnover. So that would have been a very interesting play there or turnover for Miles Turner. Excuse me. We have Cade Cunningham at the top of the key. We have a pick and roll with Jaden Duren. That's a 3-pointer from Cade. No good. Rebounded again by Duren. That's 4 already, I believe, for Jalen Duren in the first 4 minutes. And that's a putback. There's a timeout from the Pacers. The Detroit Pistons look great so far. A lot of good rotations, actual set plays. This is just completely a 180 from what we saw from the Pistons last year, and a very great start in this first quarter against the Pacers. A 12-4 lead here for the Pistons. That's just great. Obviously, the key player so far, Jalen Duren, already has 4 rebounds so far, including 2 offensive rebounds, and that putback forces the Pacers and Rick Carlisle to take a timeout. As you can see here, Nembhard 1 for 3 already. 0 for 3, from the 3-point line. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond after a slow start from 3. But obviously in the NBA, anything can change. 8 points literally can be changed in 30 seconds. So this is not a big deficit for the Pacers to overcome, but it's great for a team like the Pistons who struggled so much last year getting to a head start, looking at those woes and flipping it around. And now the starting lineup has an 8-point lead over the Pacers. That's just some very good stuff. We are in a TV timeout right now. Handing out Little Caesars in the crowd. I would not accept that pizza. Not sure about your guys' Little Caesars opinions, but no, you know what, I would. It's pizza. But Pistons here looking very impressive. I'm sorry, it's not even a TV timeout. Rick Carlisle called that timeout. My apologies. Both teams looking pretty good, specifically the Pistons. Their defensive rotations have looked great. The floor spacing is a revelation here, as you can see from this shot chart. They were 2 for 5 from the 3-point line. Both makes from Tim Hardaway. And, I have to say, just looking at this now, that must be just a great acquisition for the Pistons to have, because they just didn't take threes last year. If I'm not mistaken, they were one of the lowest attempting 3-point teams in the league, and that makes sense. They didn't have any shooters. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in. He is known for being a 3-point shooter and a shot taker. He may not be a shot maker. He is a shot taker, folks. So it is great to see that Tim Hardaway Jr. is going back to prime Tim Hardaway Jr., making those 3-pointers. Already has 2 for the game. Like I said, Jalen Duren looking great. Curious to see more of Jaden Ivey. If I'm not mistaken, he's due for an extension next offseason. So clearly the Pistons are going to be using this year to determine what his contract value will look like. I'm honestly hoping for a good Jaden Ivey year. I was pretty high on him coming out of Purdue. He's a great basketball player, a lot of great physical tools. So I'm just curious to see how he progresses as the game continues. There is 8:15 left in the first quarter. We have, it looks like, Nembhard bringing the ball down the floor. We do have Ivy. Yes, that is Ivy. Excuse me. We have Ivy on Halliburton. And we have, it looks like, Siakam. I don't know about that call. Looks like it should have been maybe a jump ball or something, but Siakam does spin out of it, of course, and he gets the 2-pointer. As the broadcast team is highlighting, Pascal Siakam, 4-year max extension in the offseason. We will see how he performs with that contract already in place. Looks like maybe it looks like an offensive foul on Jaden Ivey. We will see what happens next. It looks like my stream may be a little bit behind, so apologies on that. But we are watching the game live here on NBA League Pass. Obviously, can't show that on YouTube. If I would, I would, trust me, if I could. But Halliburton drives to the lane, misses a scoop layup. Ivy drives, finds Hardaway Jr., who misses the 3-pointer. We have Andrew Nembhard now coming down the floor with Halliburton. Turner, wide open 3, just short. And it looks like it will be Pistons ball. The Pacers get those 2 points from Pascal Siakam. Other than that, pretty dry overall. As you can see here, 4 missed 3-pointers already. Couple missed shots, including that Tyrese Halliburton scoop layup like I was talking about. Pistons have the ball now. Cade Cunningham driving in the paint. He turns it over. Aaron Nesmith gets the steal. Siakam throws it up to Halliburton, who passes it back to Siakam. Siakam gets fouled by, I believe, Jalen Duren inside of the paint. Or that may be no, I believe that's Jaden Ivey. Yeah, that's going to be a Jaden Ivey foul. He was hooking the arm. And Pascal Siakam will now be going to the line for 2 points. Looks like he already made his first, according to the ESPN broadcast. So we will see what happens here. Both teams looking to capitalize on the Eastern Conference. Pistons looking to hopefully not finish last for the third year in a row, I believe. That just would be unfortunate considering the amount of talent that is on this team. It looks like Malik Beasley is coming into the game for Jaden Ivey. Another good three-point shooter. I believe he shot 39% from the field for the Bucks last year. So another good three-point shooter for the Pistons. They had a pretty underrated offseason. From the looks of it, they're definitely improved. Jalen Duren, another defensive rebound. That's 5, I believe, so far. We're not even halfway through the first quarter, folks. Jalen Duren, excuse me. Yeah. Top MF in here. Got the 3-team parlay with the Pacers, Bucks, and Warriors. Need Pacers to start the night off right. Well, they definitely look a lot better than they did just a couple of minutes ago. So I appreciate you dropping a chat in there. Pistons got off to a hot start. Pacers looks like they are coming back now. Looks like that might have been a Tobias Harris missed 3-point jumper. Pacers take the ball out. Looks like they find a wide open shooter, and that right there is Aaron Nesmith, who makes the 3-pointer. Couldn't see the jersey number, but it's all of a sudden a 2-point game. Like I said, things can change so quickly in the NBA. The Pacers weren't looking great to start off the game. Now those 3-pointers are going to start going in. Then that lead is going to start expanding for them. If they can get that. Looks like a bad pass there from Jalen Duren. Halliburton passes it off to Nesmith, who passes it off to Siakam. You got Turner on the perimeter, passes it to Nesmith. The fadeaway jumper over Tobias Harris is good. And now it's a tie game, and JB Bickerstaff will be forced to take a timeout. See, just like that, Pacers were up by 8 points, I believe, at that timeout. Pacers score 8 straight. Now we're halfway through the first quarter, tie game here. Just better ball movement from the Pacers. That's all I can say. Pretty stagnant at the beginning of the game, but now we're getting a lot of good passes. And because of that, we're getting easy looks in the paint, as you can see here. 3 of their 4 made shots are coming in the paint. Aaron Nesmith so far, I believe, 5 points. Did he get fouled? Yes, 5 points so far, leading the Pistons in scoring. The Pacers, excuse me. Going to need that 3-point shot to start falling now. 1 for 5 from 3. That's not going to be great if that keeps progressing. Honestly, a little bit of sloppy ball from both teams after that timeout. A lot of turnovers, a lot of just poor shot selection. You'd like to see a little bit better from both of these teams, but see, the Pistons were what? I believe they were 2 for 4, and now they were 2 for 7. Just not settling anymore. Getting better shots, better shot selection. I'd like to see Cade Cunningham. You see that 0 for 3 right there. Not really incorporated much in the scoring game. I'm not sure what to do at that point and have to keep watching to see if he can improve on that. But overall, Pacers looks like they're coming back. See, it sucks that we only have one game right now. This is all I can talk about. Once we get to some of the other games, actually, let me look at the scores for the game. So we have the Pacers there, obviously. At 6:30, in just a couple of minutes, we'll have Nets and Hawks. Probably will not be looking much at that game. Sorry, Nets and Hawks fans. The game we're probably going to focus on if this Pistons-Pacers games gets out of hand, as it could. Magic and Heat. That's a very interesting game. Paolo Banchero in his 3rd NBA season, looking to make that superstar jump like many project him to, facing the Miami Heat. As I talked about in my last video, the Miami Heat definitely a lot of pressure this regular season to actually perform. They have a mold where they would just not really perform much in the regular season and then turn it up in the playoffs. That's not going to be acceptable now with the Eastern Conference getting much stronger with the addition of Paul George to the Sixers, Mikal Bridges and Cat to the Knicks, and of course the Milwaukee Bucks still having Giannis, and the Celtics being the Celtics. So that's just not going to be acceptable for the Heat to coast through the regular season, because home court advantage could possibly play a factor into who gets out of the Eastern Conference this season. So Miami Heat obviously going to need to step it up in the regular season. And of course, Jimmy Butler looking for that extension. Other 6:30 games, we have the Bucks and injured Sixers. Tyrese Maxey will be the one leading the show for the Sixers, so we'll see where that goes. And then the Cavs and the Raptors, again, probably won't be looking too much at that game, as it looks like this Pistons and Pacers game is coming back on right now. Looks like Cade went for a shot, got rejected, I believe. Looks like it got rejected, or I'm sorry, that looks like it might be a foul. Yes, that is absolutely a foul on Cade Cunningham, so he'll be going to the line looking to get his first points of the game. Looks like Cade makes the first free throw, and looks like we'll have a substitution, I believe. Yep, that's Simone Fontecchio coming in, number 19, coming in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Curious how that three-point shooting is going to look now. Tim Hardaway Jr. made both of the Pistons' three-point shot attempts. Also curious, and we're on the lookout for Ron Holland, the 5th overall pick, looking to make his NBA debut tonight. A guy with a lot of potential coming into the NBA, a lot of athletic potential, solid defender in the G League. We'll see if all of that can translate over to the NBA. As for now, the Pacers have the ball. Halliburton driving down. Looks like Siakam wide open for three. Gets it to go. Halliburton with the assist. And the Pacers all of a sudden have the lead. Just like that. That is I believe that's an 11-2 run for the Pacers over the past 4 or so minutes. That's a turnover for Fontecchio. Looks like Nesmith driving down the paint. He gets fouled by Fontecchio. So Aaron Nesmith will be going to the line. Nesmith looking pretty solid so far through this first quarter here. Looking also at the time to see when those games will start. Once the games start, I will update you as soon as possible when things happen. But as for now, looks as though we have Aaron Nesmith at the line. He will make that first free throw. Aaron Nesmith, one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, drafted 14th overall out of Vanderbilt, I believe, in 2020. Yes, it was Vanderbilt. Or at least if I'm not mistaken, it was. One of the best three-point shooters in the league, was originally with the Celtics, got traded for Malcolm Brogdon, and now look at this. He was just a throw-in piece, and now thriving on the Pacers as a starting small forward. Looks like T.J. McConnell's now in the game for Andrew Nembhard. T.J. McConnell, obviously one of the backup point guards. So that's Tobias Harris driving down the lane, getting an open dunk on the Pacers defense. Slow to get back. We have T.J. McConnell driving now on Cade Cunningham. Cade, good defense. Good job to block off the baseline. Fontecchio guarding Nesmith. Still have Cunningham there. They switch it off now. And the switch was a little shaky, but Siakam airballs the mid-range. Looks like we have Harris driving down to the paint, and he will get the layup. Tobias Harris, not looking bad so far in his Pistons re-debut, I guess I could call it. 6 points already, 3 for 5 from the field. Then that's a little a baby hook from, you guessed it, I guess you didn't guess it, James Wiseman. Kind of a shock to me, actually. I guess if Isaiah Jackson's not playing tonight, then it would make sense for James Wiseman to get some PT. Just a little shock that it's coming this early in the first quarter. However, James Wiseman is on the court, former 2nd overall pick. Isaiah Stewart gets stripped from behind. Siakam one-on-one with Cunningham. Feeds it off to Wiseman, who once again makes another 5-foot shot. Oh, I'm sorry, the first one was a 7-foot. This one's a 5-footer. James Wiseman, 2nd bucket of the night. And it looks like, Cade Cunningham almost got stripped once again. It will get deflected out of bounds by Aaron Nesmith, though. It looks like we will have a big substitution, and there he is, 0-0. Ron Holland, the 5th overall pick, coming in for Cade Cunningham. We also have Obi Toppin coming in, Benedict Mathurin, the 6th overall pick from 2021, yes. And Marcus Sasser also in the game. Looks as though we are finally getting the debut of the 5th overall pick. Curious to see what he does here. So, looks like Ivy driving down. Ron Holland for 3, just off. We almost got to see the first points of the 5th overall pick live here on Talkback Sports. However, looks like that will be rebounded, and that will be made by Ron Holland. Those are the first NBA points of Ron Holland's career. Put back layup. Great hustle from the kid. Halliburton with the floater, the off-balance floater at that. That one is no good. Looks like we have, that's also Ron Holland taking another shot, a layup it looked like, missed it. Halliburton going for the alley-oop. That's a bad pass turnover, folks. Looks like we have Holland once again looking to shoot it. He does not, though. He passes it off. That's Fontecchio from 3 in the corner. That was a very good contest there from Wiseman. James Wiseman not having a bad game in his Pacers debut here. Looks like screen there. Wiseman on the pick and roll. A pick and pop, it looks like. That is off the back iron. So, looks like we have Marcus Sasser bringing the ball up. Houston's very own. Well, I'm not sure if he's from Houston. Went to the University of Houston. We have Sasser here. Getting the ball. It's a three-pointer. And that one is good. Looks like the Pistons starting to find that offensive groove once again. We have Marcus Sasser hitting that three-pointer. 2 minutes left in the first quarter here. Wiseman getting fouled. A lot of James Wiseman minutes here through the early going. Just checking here with that foul to see if any of the other games have started. Looks like they have not. So we will stick with this Pacers and Pistons game. However, at the end of this first quarter, we're probably going to change it. However, we will see how that goes. At the line, James Wiseman now. Looks like Isaiah Stewart is in the game now. That is very good. Wiseman, first free throw, good. Isaiah Stewart in the game, of course. Looks like both bench units coming out. That's going to be Jarris Walker. Speaking of Houston, or the University of Houston, Jarris Walker coming in. Didn't get a lot of PT, at least not for, I believe he was the 8th overall pick last year. Not a lot of PT for a top 10 pick like many would assume. However, the Pacers were, of course, a very good team. Jarris Walker coming in now in the first quarter. Going to prove and see why the Pacers took him with that 7th or 8th overall pick. Can't remember which one. I think he was traded for Bilal, if I'm not mistaken. Bilal Coulibaly. But, all right. We have Isaiah Stewart coming up the floor for some reason with the ball. Malik Beasley up top. Beasley, the pull-up mid-range jumper. That one is good. Very good play there. A contested mid-range jumper. Good little give and go there between Stewart and Malik Beasley. Though TJ McConnell gets a wide open layup, blows by the defender. Pacers regain their lead. Minute 30 left in the first quarter here. We have Ivy on the wing. Stewart gives it. I'm sorry, not Ivy. That's Malik Beasley. Beasley hits the three. There's that three-point shooting that I was talking about a little bit earlier. Pistons grab a 27 to 25 point lead. Looks like we have Wiseman from 3. Wiseman taking too many shots for my liking so far. 4 shot attempts through this first quarter. Looks like Wiseman's going down with an injury, actually. It looks like he's grabbing at his leg, I believe. A little slow to get up there, limping a little. Oh, no. That's not good. Wiseman limping a little bit, struggling to stand up here. Needs help off the floor from Toppin. That's just so unfortunate to see. He's grabbing at his ankles. I'm not sure. It looked like it might have been his left leg. Looks like Wiseman gets hurt there. So, unfortunately. Imagine if Ninja got a low taper fade. Dude, that meme is so massive. Are you a Pistons fan? No, I'm a Raptors fan, unfortunately. If I were a Pistons fan, I'd also be sad as I am as a Raptors fan. But no, I am not a Pistons fan. I am from Michigan, but I am not a Pistons fan. Wiseman, unfortunately, gets injured there. He is off the court. Miles Turner is back in. And we will see what happens here. We have Ron Holland at the line. A lot of Ron Holland here to start off this game. He makes both free throws. And TJ McConnell coming in now, crossing half court. We have a minute left. Once it hits the second quarter, we'll see if we stay on this game. Looks like TJ McConnell was fouled there on the baseline. Or are they calling that a foul? Looks like they might be calling it. It looks like they might be calling it a travel. Not completely sure. Looks like none of the other games have started, so we may unfortunately have to stay there. James Wiseman is being helped off the court right now. They're calling it a TJ McConnell double dribble, by the way. James Wiseman unfortunately being helped off the field, or field, helped off the court. We hope he is okay, of course. We have Malik Beasley driving now to the paint with Benedict Mathurin defending him. That is a great floater there from Malik Beasley. And now the Pistons hold a 6-point lead. TJ McConnell with the ball out to Mathurin. Mathurin at the top of the key loses the ball, calls for a foul. The refs don't give it to him. The ball was going to Fontecchio from Holland, but Holland turns it over, gets it deflected. That's a good defensive play from the Pacers there. Looks like that may be an offensive foul there on Jarris Walker. Pushes down. I believe that's Fontecchio. Yep. Simone Fontecchio gets pushed down. A little shoulder to chest contact there from Jarris Walker. And the refs, of course, have to call that. Looks like here the Pistons will be getting the ball back. 6-point lead. Honestly, Pistons just getting that 3-point threat there from Hardaway and Beasley, and having veteran leadership from those guys as well as Tobias Harris, I think that's doing wonders for this team. And of course, a new head coach, JB Bickerstaff, though I'm not the biggest fan of him, just establishing that culture, building up something for Detroit. I think that's just going to be good. This team is way too talented to lose 27 straight games as they did last year. So this is a team that I'm keeping my eye on, not for playoff success or even play-in success, but just to show signs of improvement and signs of building something here. Cade Cunningham has the ball with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He was just sitting up there. Looks like the call here is going to be questionable. Yep, it's going to be a shot clock violation. Cunningham went for the layup, gets blocked. Gets blocked by Miles Turner. What a great play there. They have to call that shot clock violation. There's 4.5 seconds left in the game. Pacers will have time for one more shot here to end the quarter. They're going to start at half court. Looks like that's going to be Jarris Walker, who throws up a prayer at half court, and that one goes off the side of the backboard. And that does it for the first quarter of Pistons and Pacers. Looks like the Pistons are up 31-25. No other game has started yet. It's been 11 minutes since they were supposed to start. So, unfortunate. Let me look at this Nets and Hawks. Looks like this hasn't started. I am very excited for this Magic and Heat game, as I said earlier. Excited for it to start. Let's see if it will. No players on the injury report except Josh Richardson. He is out. That's going to be their backup too. Not too big of a loss, but of course, you'd like to see each team fully healthy to start the season. Speaking of fully healthy, the 76ers, I believe Joel Embiid is not going to be playing for the rest of the week. That's going to be a big loss. Paul George not playing for the Sixers as well as we knew. And Chris Middleton, of course, will be out. Unfortunate to see these guys start the season like that, but we will see what happens there. Cavaliers and Raptors. As I said, I am a Raptors fan. Am I excited for the season? No. I'm excited to see Masai Ujiri get fired. Is that harsh? Maybe. But he has ruined this team. I talked about it in my latest video. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't. Also, I guess I should do a little plug now that we have a little break in the action. Leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. But honestly, if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. We're just here to chill, relax, talk about some NBA. I am excited to see that the NBA is back, folks. So just to be here, just to see, I think there's 10 games tonight. So just to have 20 teams in action, it's exciting. Once the NBA stops, it's like there's a hole in my life that needs to be filled. Okay, that sounded weird. But overall, the NBA being back is just great for all of us. I love the NBA, my passion. And we are waiting for these 6:30 games to start so I can stop rambling. So, as I said, Raptors have a lot to work on. The Cavaliers, I am extremely high on. I should have put this in my video. I cannot believe I can't. Kenny Atkinson is going to work wonders for that team. I've already said it earlier, but not the biggest fan of JB Bickerstaff. Even though the team is looking good. The Pistons are in their first quarter, but not the biggest fan of JB Bickerstaff. So I'd like to see what Kenny Atkinson can do for that team in general. They are playing a Raptors team that should be an easy victory. To see that the spread is only 6.5 is a little concerning. So we have that. I guess I should highlight some of the games later on that we will be seeing the tail end of. Hornets and Rockets. I don't know if that's exciting per se, but it's just great to see LaMelo back fully healthy. Charles Lee is the name of the coach from the Hornets. He's a former Celtics assistant. Everyone raves about him in Boston. I'm curious to see what he looks like as a head coach. As we are back with the Pacers, it looks like that's Benedict Mathurin hitting a three. We will go back to that in just a second. Rockets, I was there live for a Rockets preseason game a couple of days ago. Environment was incredible. The team looked great. The starters, that starting five is going to be very underrated, and a lot of people are going to talk about that. I'm assuming in the upcoming days once they likely defeat the Hornets at home. Then we have Bulls and Pelicans. That's going to be an interesting one. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, just quickly here while the game goes to a little pause because of a foul on Ron Holland. Yep, we have Zion Williamson out as well as Trey Murphy. That's not great. It says, they opened the Hornets. The Pelicans are still 4.5 point favorites here, but Chicago, could they get a victory to start off the season? The tanking Bulls. Let's see. It looks like up here, as you can see, the Magic and the Heat have started their games. We will keep it here with the Pistons and Pacers for just a second, though. Overall, looks like we have a jump ball in the middle of the floor. Jaden Ivey loses the ball. That will be Pistons ball. Eventually, I am going to change it to that Heat and Magic game in just a couple of minutes. Once we see a timeout in this Pistons-Pacers game, I will change it. I will change the game cast, but for now, we will stick with the Pistons and Pacers. That looked like a shove from, I'm not sure who that was. Was that Fontecchio, I believe, shoved Walker, maybe? Or maybe other way around, but looks like this will be Pistons ball. Isaiah Stewart does get subbed out for Jalen Duren. And yeah, looks like we have Beasley hands it off to Ivy. Ivy at the top of the key hands it off to Holland, spotting up. That's not what he's known for, though he does help get the offensive rebound. That's going to be Ivy from the free throw line, and that will be good. Pistons looking good so far to start off this game. That's a good sign to see. Let's keep seeing a couple of things here. We have Miles Turner going to the basket. That's a ridiculous shot to take at this point in the game. He does miss it. Benedict Mathurin driving down the floor. Ron Holland, a very good defender. That is something that I do need to point out. He's a very good defender, very athletic, kind of in the mold of Asar Thompson, but about 3 inches taller and a better offensive threat. So I guess that sounds a little demeaning to Asar Thompson. Asar Thompson is great, and he does some things better than Ron Holland. But Ron Holland, definitely an effort guy so far through this first half. We are in the middle of the second quarter. Let me go ahead and check up on these other games. I am going to switch it. I apologize. I am going to switch the game to the Magic and the Miami Heat here. Like I said, if you enjoy what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel, like this live stream. Let me actually do this. This is my first time ever live streaming, so we will see how this goes. I hope you guys are having fun, enjoying watching the games with me. I forget sometimes that KCP's even on this team, but yes, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope obviously on the Orlando Magic. It looks like we're going to have Rozier and Hero both starting. Jovic, Butler, and Adebayo. It looks like Butler's already 0 for 3 from the field, so that one's not great. But it looks like we have KCP bringing the ball down, have Tyler Hero defending him. And Jalen Suggs just got his big extension. Big extension for Jalen Suggs yesterday. Good for him. We have Rozier guarding him. It looks like on the perimeter. Pretty strange camera angle. Franz Wagner drives to the paint. Beautiful move. Gets past Jimmy Butler and gets the layup to go. Magic are leading now 6-4. We have 9:15 left. Looks like ESPN is a little behind now. A little different from what we were seeing earlier, but don't want to spoil things too much for you guys, but ESPN does look like they were a little behind right now. Nikola Jovic looks like he turned the ball over maybe. Let's see here. He went for a little putback. Oh, no, that's goaltending on Jalen Suggs. So the game is tied 6-6 here in Miami. All right, we are back now. Looks like that's Wendell Carter there, starting center for the Orlando Magic. Gets fouled by Nikola Jovic. Once again, I do apologize that ESPN is a little behind. I'm sure they will catch up eventually, as they did with that Pistons and Pacers game. If they do not, I will pause my stream, and we can watch the game together. We do have Wendell Carter at the line right now. In fact, I will pause it right now just to look at the box score real quick. We do have Paolo Banchero 2 for 4 right now from the field, 2 rebounds, 4 points. Pretty good so far. Like I was saying or alluding to earlier, Paolo Banchero, a lot of people are looking for him to make that superstar leap. In year 3 now, like some of the stars of the past, like Shea, like Ant, year 3 seems to be a pretty big year for a lot of these young guys. So it will be curious to see how Paolo does. I am, of course, projecting a big year for Paolo. I'm a big Paolo fan, so much so that I actually have his jersey. So I really do hope that he has a great career. It's looking like it because he's looking incredible for the Orlando Magic. That was a great draft pick by them in 2022 when first overall pick wasn't very clear. They picked Paolo, best choice available. Then you look at the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler 0 for 3. Not great for his contract year talks. If you don't know Jimmy Butler, this is the last year on his contract for the Miami Heat. So we will see how he does in this scenario. Looks like we are finally caught up here with ESPN. Yes, Nikola Jovic does commit a shooting foul, so we will be watching this game live, both you and me. Wendell Carter at the line already made his first free throw, as it says down there. And Wendell Carter will miss his second. I apologize, but Paolo does get the rebound, misses the putback, gets tipped out to Franz Wagner, hits the mid-range jumper. The Magic up 9-6. This is going to be a very low-scoring game, very old-school game. As you can see here, only 2 3-pointers attempted so far through the game. One by Jimmy Butler in the corner, which was missed, and one by Tyler Hero at the top of the key. Other than that, a mid-range from the Magic is the only shot that was not inside the paint for both teams. So, pretty incredible stuff there. It will be interesting to see where the 3-point shooting comes as the game goes along. The Magic, obviously not a very good offensive team, as we saw last year, ranked near the bottom in almost every offensive metric. We have Bam Adebayo, who charges a blocking foul, or grabs a blocking foul against, I believe that's Jalen Suggs, who's in the restricted area. And now we will have Bam Adebayo. I believe he's taking the ball out right now. Maybe he's shooting free. I don't know if that was a shooting foul or not. Too much stat watching. Looks like that will be out of bounds play. Looks like Tyler Hero will be taking the ball out. And here we go. Miami Heat, obviously a team, not high expectations, actually low expectations for this team. This team, a lot of people think that they're just going to be not bottom feeders, but more so a lock for the play-in because the East is so weak. I think they could personally make it to a 4 or 5 seed, maybe take a playoff round or 2. And I think that's going to be interesting to see as the year goes along. Jalen Suggs with a wide open 3, he misses. We have Terry Rozier coming down the floor. That will be a bad pass, though, from Terry Rozier to Jimmy Butler. We're going to have Franz Wagner going into the paint. A little Euro step magic, misses the floater. And Bam Adebayo gets the rebound. I'm very excited for this Bam season as well. I really think this could be the year where he gets that Defensive Player of the Year, if it's not Wemby. Of course, that's a big say because Victor Wembanyama, obviously almost a lock at this point to win Defensive Player of the Year, considering what he did last year. But that's going to be a blocking foul on Franz Wagner. Jimmy Butler will be going to the line. That was a shooting foul as well as a blocking foul. Jimmy Butler will be going to the line. I believe he's still scoreless at this point in the game. So we will see where that comes along. As we can see in the ticker up top, Detroit still has a 4-point lead over Indiana. Atlanta jumps out to a 7-point lead over Brooklyn. I have some opinions on Brooklyn that I haven't talked about as Jimmy Butler misses the first free throw. Brooklyn might have the worst team in the NBA. In fact, I'm going to say it. Their roster is worse than Washington's. Actually, their roster will be worse than Washington's in, let's say, 3 months. They're going to trade everybody. There's a fire sale happening in Brooklyn because there's this man named Cooper Flagg. Not sure if you heard of him, but he's going to be pretty good, and a lot of NBA teams want to have him on their team. So we will see how Brooklyn does as they just scored a basket, it looks like. Philadelphia has a 4-point lead over Milwaukee, and Toronto with a surprising lead over Cleveland. I hope that team's in the Cooper Flagg sweepstakes, if you know what I mean. Paolo Banchero takes a corner 3, misses. Wendell Carter gets the rebound, completely whiffs on the dunk. He just loses the ball in his hand. And it looks like Nikola Jovic driving down the paint, and he gets the layup to go. It is tied 9-9 now here in Miami. Jalen Suggs bringing the ball up on the court. Driving to the paint, Jovic down there to defend. Suggs will flip it around, though, grab the reverse layup, and that will be good. Orlando does grab an 11-9 lead. Tyler Hero with the little step back mid-range. KCP comes back in good positioning. Not sure what Jalen Suggs was doing there trying to pick it off, but he does recover very well. But he does foul Terry Rozier from 3. Rozier will have 3 free throw attempts after this timeout, I believe that's a TV timeout, actually. Excuse me. So, TV timeout there. We might go to a different game. Let's see. Let's go to Cleveland and Toronto. Toronto has a 5-point lead, and also that's my favorite team. So, just curious to see what's going on here real quick. Like I said, we're going to be jumping from game to game when games have a timeout like that. However, we will be paying the most attention to that Orlando-Miami game, and we'll probably be going back to that Pistons-Pacers game. That was a very good first quarter, honestly. Good quality ball there. Looks like the Raptors game is also going to be on commercials. So how about we do go back to that Pistons and Pacers game. They are in the second quarter. This game started 30 minutes earlier than all the other games, so we get to see a little bit more of this game. And the Pistons look very good, in fact. Pistons look very good. They do have a 4-point lead, or excuse me, now it's a 6-point lead. Not sure how this happened, but the Pistons do have the ball. They give it off to Jalen Duren. Duren hands it off to Cunningham. Cunningham drives in. Nembhard stops it. And now Cunningham attempts to reset the offense. Cunningham drives to the paint, spins out, mid-range jumper, line drive, short. Rebounded. Looks like we have Andrew Nembhard coming up right now. Halliburton at the top of the key, looking for that shot. That's a high-arcing shot that misses completely. So we have Aaron Nesmith grabbing the ball. Halliburton, another deep 3, misses. Gets his own rebound, fouled by Jaden Ivey. Not sure what Halliburton was thinking. This score chart does not show you how deep that three-pointer was, but this one was deep. This one was not a 25-footer, I can tell you that. That one was probably about a 30-footer that he took and missed. So looks like we have a little Tyrese Halliburton smiling at Jaden Ivey. Not sure if there's anything there. Probably not, because they're professionals. Luke Walton on that coaching staff, as I talked about earlier, for the Pistons. That'll be interesting to see. More NBA minds for the Pistons is just good. Halliburton with a little fadeaway jumper gets the mid-range to go. That's Tyrese Halliburton there with the, as ESPN shows me, spoiling the game for me. That's going to be Malik Beasley, missed 3 just off the front iron. Jalen Duren must have 8 rebounds at this point. I am convinced that he is the best rebounder in this league. He has 8, exactly. 3 offensive rebounds. I'm not sure if there's a more valuable rebounder in the league than Jalen Duren right now. Maybe Sabonis, but Halliburton drives to the paint, misses the layup. He's on the floor now. Pistons have a little 5-on-4 opportunity. However, Cade Cunningham's pass broken up by Nesmith, and that one goes out of bounds. Very good game here, honestly, between the Pistons and the Pacers. This is some good basketball. This is what you like to see from a from a Pistons team that was struggling so much at the beginning of last year. This is what you like to see. You like to see this team coming out and performing at a much higher level than they did last year. So looks like we have Tobias Harris, the top of the floor, little pick from Beef Stew, if you will. Mid-range from Tobias Harris is missed off the baseline. Siakam gets a rebound, gives it off to Nembhard, who goes for the layup. That one goes in. Nembhard, I believe, also got a pretty lucrative extension this offseason. As we go to timeout in this Pacers and Pistons game, we will switch it once again. Let's see. Let us actually go back to that Miami and Orlando game. Sorry for flip-flopping so much, but all these games want to go to commercial. So we will go to this game as we see the Miami Heat have gone through. Oh, well, looks like the Magic just took a timeout. Miami Heat, let's see what they did here. They went on a little 8-0 run, I believe. Or I'm sorry, that's a 10-0 run. Rozier makes all the free throws. Banchero misses. Jovic hits a 3. Jovic gets a layup. Tyler Hero gets a 2-point shot. Makes sense there. All right, let's go to that Toronto game like we wanted to watch earlier. Toronto is up by 3 now, it looks like, over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like I said, high expectations for the Cavaliers entering this season, low expectations for the Raptors. However, it's almost the opposite in this game. The Raptors are leading right now, so we will see how this game goes. As I tune in, Garland drains that three-pointer as we see on the screen right now. Curious to see what Darius Garland does this year. I'm a big Darius Garland guy. Always liked him. It looks like the Raptors are wearing those throwback uniforms, one of the best uniforms in NBA history, so you got to love it. Darius Garland was one of my favorite prospects in that 2021 year. However, last year, broke his jaw, I believe. Did not play for a long stretch of time, and he just was not at his A game. So I'm a big Darius Garland guy. He honestly reminds me a lot. This is going to sound crazy. He reminds me a lot of CP3. You know, that's a crazy comparison to make, but if you just watch the way they watch the way they facilitate around the basket and around the floor in general, this team, he just really resembles early day CP3. Or even, he resembles a late day CP3, being honest. But just curious to see where Garland goes this season and how he performs. I'm hoping he's on the upswing as he finds Dean Wade in the corner, who hits the three. Great pass from Garland around the defender to find Dean Wade open. We have Davion Mitchell here, who finds, I can't see who that is in the corner, but that's a great three-pointer from Boucher there. It looks like that was Ochai Agbaji, if I'm not mistaken. See, why is Ochai Agbaji getting minutes in the first quarter? I'm not going to let my fandom sway how I believe about this team. However, they are not great. Jarrett Allen loses the ball. We have a Jakob Poeltl at the top of the key, finds Mitchell in the corner. He does miss that three-pointer, rebounded by Dean Wade, who is bringing the ball up the floor. Looks like that ball is going to Darius Garland. If I'm not mistaken, Max Strus is out for a long period of time. I think 6 weeks. That's a bigger team than a lot of people, or a bigger miss than a lot of people expect. They're going to miss him a lot. Darius Garland does commit the turnover. A strange pass, honestly. Looks like the story of the game is the turnovers. Cavs already have 4 turnovers in this game. As Ochai Agbaji, that is a great finish over, I believe that was Dean Wade. Gets a good layup in there. Grady Dick, someone who I'm very excited about. He gets the assist there. The Raptors with a little bit of a lead here. Looks like Karis LeVert dishes it out. Is that Sam Morrell, I believe? And that's a three-pointer. See, I have to make sure that is Sam Morrell. I have to make sure I know all these guys before the season starts. Some people switch teams, don't want to misidentify someone. However, that, of course, was Sam Morrell, the sharpshooter from last year. Played with the Cavaliers. So, thank you all for tuning in so far through the games. We are switching games as they go along. The Raptors game, 2-point game, probably the most interesting one right now. Pretty shocking if you ask me. That Magic and Heat game we will go back to eventually. However, right now, good basketball going on in Toronto as we have Grady Dick at the free throw line, shooting 2 free throws. Grady Dick, obviously from Kansas, one of the better prospects from last year's draft, and he looks pretty solid so far. That first year near the end, he was definitely turning it up, and excited to see what he becomes. For now, right now, he's at the line. Looks like he could extend this into a 2-possession game if he makes his free throw, and he does, of course. So, looks like Donovan Mitchell back on the court. We have Mobley and Garland on the bench. Garland already has 3 fouls in the first quarter, so not a great sign there if you're a Cavs fan. Mitchell calling for a foul on his top of the key 3. Refs don't call it. Shot doesn't go in. Raptors, 10 free throws so far in the game to the Cavs 0. So, haven't been watching the game. Can't really see if that's really a disparity because of the free throws. But, yeah, new Heat offense looking good. Yeah, I just missed their little 10-point run, I believe, that they just had. But, yeah, if Nikola Jovic is going to do that, that team's going to be legit. High expectations in my mind for them. And I really do hope they are one of the 6 guaranteed playoff spots, because when the Miami Heat are healthy and in the playoffs, life is better. Something going on here in the Raptors-Cavs game. Not sure really what happened. Let's watch this replay here. Donovan Mitchell has the ball. Looks like he hits that little layup. And I believe it's just a timeout that's being called. Speaking of the Miami Heat, let us go there and watch that game. This is the game I was the most excited for heading into the afternoon. Just haven't really been able to catch it at the right time. There is 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Eventually, also, I do want to go back to that Pistons and Pacers game. We're definitely going to be watching the end of that if it continues to be this close. So right now, we have the Magic and Heat loading up on my screen. We have Anthony Black in the game. That's going to be good for Anthony Black stock owners. Obviously, he looked very good in Arkansas in his 1 year. Curious to see what he develops into. But now Jimmy Butler driving. No call. That's actually a very good no call. Wide open dunk for Wendell Carter. I thought for a second that he was fouled. He was definitely not. So it looks like I am a little bit ahead of you guys, so I do apologize. Tyler Hero is at the top of the key. A little pick and roll there with Haywood Highsmith. Jaime Jaquez, year 2 of Jaime Jaquez, driving to the paint, does get fouled by, I believe, Wendell Carter. Not particularly sure what happens there. But we will see. As I said, I do apologize for being a little bit ahead of you guys. Thank you all for the support so far through the live stream. This is my first ever live stream, so I do appreciate it. And of course, if you have any thoughts about any of the games, if you want to see any of the games on the screen, please comment that down below. I will abide to whatever you guys want to watch. As for right now, though, Duncan Robinson is entering the game, as is Mo Wagner. Gotta love Michigan, man. I am a Michigan Wolverines fan, I know. Very annoying. However, do not feel great because their football team is awful, and their basketball team was awful last year as well. So, not much to gloat about right now. Mo Wagner does get the rebound, though. Jaime Jaquez misses his second free throw. We have Paulo Banchero going up at the court. Interesting defense here from the Miami Heat. It is still a man-to-man, but very interesting. Paulo just drives his way to the basket. That looked like a prime LeBron move. That's not glazing. That was a grown man move, and that was a great drive there. Looks like we have Terry Rozier at the top of the key. Thomas Bryant in the game. Terry Rozier, however, does not use his screen. Drives straight to the basket. Gets the 1-foot shot. And here we go. Now you guys are ahead of me, so look at that. Gary Harris misses that 3-point shot. Why is he still on the team? I don't know. I'm glad he's not starting. But Gary Harris, very interesting that he's still on the team at this point. They give him an extension too, I believe. Not too lucrative though. So if he's just going to be a bench piece, that's fine. And if he's not going to play too much, I'm also fine with that. So we have Franz Wagner on the bench. Mo Wagner in the game. One of the best backup bigs in the league. Mo Wagner, in fact. So looks like they're highlighting that in the game broadcast as Terry Rozier is going to the line. Looks like that was a loose ball foul for Mo Wagner. That's why they're highlighting him. I'm sorry, that's not going to be Terry Rozier. This can be Thomas Bryant at the line. We will see if he makes these. Cole Anthony on the court right now, one of the better off-the-bench guards. We will see what Thomas Bryant does here. I believe that is Thomas Bryant. I don't want to misidentify him, but he does make the first free throw here. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I honestly do like this. I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy doing this, but I do. So we will definitely continue doing these throughout the season, probably on a weekday or I'm sorry, probably on a Wednesday or any other day like that, because I feel like a lot of NBA games happen on a Wednesday. So looks like we have Cole Anthony now driving to the paint. We have Gary Harris open in the corner, drills the 3, and the Magic regain the lead, 29-28. We have Terry Rozier here, bringing the ball up at the top of the key. Has the ball, little nice dribble moves against Cole Anthony, finds Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson defended by Paulo Banchero. Or I'm sorry, that's not Paulo Banchero. That's Gary Harris. He does lose the ball out of bounds. However, that is going to be Heat ball still. All right. It is 29-28. The Magic are up. Jamal Mosley, one of the better young coaches in this league. Paulo Banchero is sitting on the bench as we only have about 2 minutes left in this first quarter. High scoring. Shockingly high scoring, in fact. Terry Rozier takes almost what you would describe as a heat check, a little fadeaway three-pointer, I guess that's a two-pointer, that he does make. I would describe that as a heat check almost, except he's not hot, I don't believe. So we will see what happens On the Magic possession, Mo Wagner finds his way in the corner, wide open, misses. They will call it, I believe, a loose ball foul on Jaime Jaquez. So the Magic will retain possession. 1 point game with 1:30 left. Again, this was not expected to be a high-scoring affair. Here we are, both teams not really known for the offense, and in fact, known for the defense, scoring here a lot, in fact. Scoring so much so that they are on pace to score 120 points each. So, interesting development here in this Magic and Heat game. We have Cole Anthony here near the top of the key, finds Anthony Black in the corner. Anthony Black dribbles down the baseline, finds Mo Wagner, who finds Gary Harris, contested three-pointer, doesn't matter, still goes in. Gary Harris, I believe that's 2 straight made three-pointers for Gary Harris. So I was talking crap about Gary Harris. He shuts me up and proves me wrong, so good for him. Looks like we have the Heat with the ball now. That's going to be Duncan Robinson. A little miscue handoff here. However, it still will be Miami Heat ball. Just looking at the box score real quick here in this game. Paolo Banchero, already 10 shot attempts. That's what you like to see. You like to see your superstar taking superstar shots and setting the tempo offensively. Looks like that will be a made shot there from Haywood Highsmith. He will make that little, what's it called? That little layup. What's it called? Layup. Then we have Cole Anthony driving to the basket. Doesn't get it. Jonathan Isaac grabs the rebound. I believe they're calling that a loose ball foul. Not sure on who, though. So, or I'm sorry. It looks like possession's still going to stay with Orlando. Looks like Jonathan Isaac's actually going to the line now because of that foul. Yes, it looks like both teams are in the bonus for this first quarter. High-scoring affair, like I said earlier. But Haywood Highsmith does pick up the foul. We have Jonathan Isaac at the line, and he misses the first free throw. Not shocking, if you ask me. Still a tie game here. Looks like Detroit's taking a little bit of a lead over the Pacers. That's a double-digit lead here. Probably the most shocking result so far of the early window. The Detroit Pistons have a double-digit lead over the Pacers. Looks like they're beating them at their own game. I wonder what those Jalen Duren rebound numbers look like. They're at least in the double digits at this point. So we will see how that game concludes. While we are on the live stream, we have Duncan Robinson taking a heat check, completely airballed. I don't know why he would ever take that shot, but he did completely miss Eric Spoelstra, even making a little face on the bench. That's good. Duncan Robinson taking a heat check and missing it. Probably won't be seeing him next quarter. We have Cole Anthony at the top, or near half court now, near at the top of the key, as he passes it off to Mo Wagner in a pick and roll. Wagner misses, but they're calling it a travel, I believe, on Mo Wagner. The Miami Heat will have time for one last shot, and we will see what happens here. Jaime Jaquez will be inbounding the ball, and we will see how the Miami Heat will do with their final possession in the first quarter after this game, or after this quarter ends. Looks like most of the other games are going to either the end of the quarter or the end of the halftime. We have the Philadelphia 76ers up. I want to check that box score real quick, and if the game gets interesting enough, of course, we will check that game out. We have Atlanta leading Brooklyn by 6, makes sense. Cleveland makes a little comeback on Toronto, leads by 1 at the end of the first quarter, and looks like the Magic get a steal over the Heat, and another turnover there from, I believe, someone else. I'm not sure who that was, but it must have been a turnover or a block. However, nothing comes of that at the end of the first quarter. It is 32-32, folks, and it is a tie game at the end of the first quarter. Every other game is either in a break or in halftime. So we will be looking at box scores real quick just to check out a general sense of what's going on around the association. Not shocking to see that Cam Thomas already has 7 shot attempts in 8 minutes. It is shocking to see, however, that Dennis Schroeder has 7 shot attempts in 9 minutes. Schroeder is leading the team in points. They're 3 for 11 from 3 up there. Looks like a classic Nets game. Looks like we'll be seeing a lot of these in the future. As for the Hawks, Trae Young 0 for 3 from the field to start off this game. However, 6 assists alone in the first quarter. That's what you like to see from Trae Young. If that shot isn't falling, turn into a playmaker. You'd love to see that. But right now you got Jalen Johnson 2 for 3. He just got that big extension. He's plus 11 when he's on the court. That's great to see. Always like me some Jalen Johnson. We have Reese Shea, who made his first three-point attempt in his NBA career. That is the first overall pick in the draft. He does make his first three-point attempt there. Dyson Daniels starting for the Hawks, a new acquisition. So he is 2 for 4 from the field. And yeah, that's about what I would expect from that first quarter. Let's look at this Sixers-Bucks game. Pretty low scoring so far. Giannis 3 for 4 from the field, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. That makes sense. 9 and 7 and 2 in the first quarter is ridiculous. However, it does make sense. Not Damian Lillard. I don't know how I missed this. 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. That is not a great start. Not at all. Then you look at the 76ers. Maxey, 11 shot attempts, doing his best Cam Thomas impression here. 11 shot attempts, 4 of them being from 3. Only at 7 points today. However, the team is still winning because the free agent, Gershon Yabusele, as we all saw in the Olympics, he looked great for France. Gets signed by the Sixers, already with 5 points today. That's just good to see overall. A guy that didn't make the league. Honestly, was struggling to find his way in Euro basketball. Getting a second chance in the NBA and proving people wrong. So good for him, man. No Jared McCain yet. That will be interesting to see. I do think he will play later on because look at this bench depth now. Well, Reggie Jackson could play, actually. We will see. Rookie counts of the 4th. I know 76ers fans love that guy, so I'm sure we'll see him play. Bobby Portis 4 for 5 from the field. That will be interesting, as we do have this Miami Heat and Orlando Magic game back in action. Something happened here at midcourt where both Gary Harris and Duncan Robinson fell down. Looks like it may have been a foul that is giving the Heat the ball. In fact, it looks like it will be that. Let me turn back on ESPN. Let me bring that game back in. We have Cole Anthony and and Thomas Bryant in the game. We were expecting a lot of defense in this game, not much offense. Both teams taking a lot of shots, honestly, specifically the Magic, I guess. 29 shot attempts, 12 being from 3. That is almost a completely different story from last year. The Orlando Magic like to slow down the pace, not many shot attempts a game. Looks like they're getting to their shots pretty early in the shot clock. That's just a big difference from what we saw last year. 12 three-point attempts is honestly just something that I wouldn't expect, especially not in the first game of the season. However, 41% from the field as a team, 41% from 3 as a team, though that's mainly because Gary Harris is 3 for 4 beyond the arc, Getting a little mixed up on my words there. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in his first start for the Magic, 0 for 2. Just a quick little recap around the association there as we see this game come back to action. We have Terry Rozier here coming down the court. The Magic are up 35-34. Looks like Rozier, a little dribble move on Cole Anthony, passes it off to Jaquez. Isaac guarding him. That's a tough matchup for the second year pro. Looks like Terry Rozier is going to get the ball at the top of the key. He's going to take a shot with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. That is no good from the top of the key. We have Cole Anthony coming down with the ball. Rozier's guarding him. Looks like Black gets the ball now. And a little give and go between Harris and Black. Black misses the tough floater off the top of the backboard. Jaquez pushing the pace down the floor. Looks like Haywood Highsmith for 3 in the corner. That is well short. Rebounded by Cole Anthony. So he's bringing the ball up the court. A lot of pretty fast pace here from both teams. Something that you really would not expect from either team. But interesting start to the season for both teams because this is an offensive game so far. And these are two teams known for their defense. We have a little break in the action as they are wiping down the floor. Cole Anthony does get bumped. Looks like he was fouled by Haywood Highsmith, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. That must be at least 2 fouls for Haywood Highsmith at this point. Just waiting for the starters to come in, likely to come in around the 8-minute mark. In fact, we have Tyler Hero already taking off his jumpsuit coming into the game, subbing out for Jaime Jaquez. So Tyler Hero back in the game. Not sure where Jimmy Butler went. Hasn't played much since we've tuned in. You may be rusting until the 8-minute or the 6-minute mark as common. Mo Wagner does go down. Looks like Gary Harris will be helping him up. That looks like that may be an off-ball foul by Duncan Robinson. No. Let's keep watching and see what this was. Yep, looks like a little off-ball foul. We do have a little inbounds here from Anthony Black. Now, I'm curious to see where Jimmy Butler is. He hasn't played too much right now. Just checking my phone real quick to see if everyone's okay around the association. No injury update on James Wiseman. Not from any of the national reporters that I do follow and have notifications on for. We have Terry Rozier with a nice little pass, a little cross-body pass there to Duncan Robinson. He will get the 3-point attempt to go. The Miami Heat are now up 37-35. Once again, if you guys have any games you guys want to watch, of course we can switch it to that game. I am open to whatever, but right now Cole Anthony misses the 3, and we will be sticking with the Magic and the Heat for now. It looks like that is the closest game at this current point in time. However, things obviously change. That Milwaukee-Philly game is intriguing me. We'll see. If this game goes to commercial soon, we might switch it, but for now we'll keep it with the Heat and the Magic. So, showing Duncan Robinson right now, runs out to the 3-point line, goes for 2. It looks like he was fouled on the baseline. Once again, apologies. My stream is a little bit ahead of ESPN, so not everything is coming in perfectly. However, I will be giving you updates. Yes, Jonathan Isaac does miss the closeout on Duncan Robinson, and Duncan Robinson draws a foul. We have Tyler Hero driving down on Jonathan Isaac, gets past the long wingspan, gets the reverse layup to go. Heat now have a 4-point lead, 39-35. We have Franz Wagner here. Franz Wagner in the backcourt goes to pass it off to Cole Anthony. To Anthony Black. And pass off to Jonathan Isaac in the corner. Hits the 3-pointer in the corner. Jonathan Isaac brings the Heat's lead down to 1. Tyler Hero. I don't know if he made Cole Anthony fall. I was switching my screen there. But it looks like Cole Anthony was on the ground. Tyler Hero hits the 3-ball there. We have Mo Wagner getting fouled by Tyler Hero. A lot happening in this first quarter. Again, I keep saying it, but that pace is ridiculous in this game. Yep, it looks like Cole Anthony does fall. Not because of anything Tyler Hero did. I believe it was just a little trip. However, of course, that moment will be on social media very quickly, Mr. Anthony. Right now, Tyler Hero crushing it offensively. 5 for 6 from the field. 12 points today. We have Anthony Black inbounding the ball here. Only 8 minutes left in the second quarter. However, a very high-scoring affair between these two teams. Franz Wagner back in the game. Paulo Banchero still on the bench. To be expected. He'll likely sub in very soon. Jonathan Isaac backing down Duncan Robinson. That's just an ugly sentence to say. Isaac, of course, misses, and it looks like there's a little bit of an off-ball foul from Thomas Bryant. It feels like there's a lot of stoppages in this game, a lot of fouls. Let's check this real quick. 8 personal fouls for the Magic and 6 for the Heat. That feels like a lot for only 16 minutes of playing time. Mo Wagner commits a foul, I guess. Another foul. That's 3 for Jaquez for the Miami Heat, which is why he's not playing. 3 for Suggs, which is why we don't see him right now. All right, that makes a little bit more sense. Only 5 minutes played for Suggs right now, which is why we're seeing a lot of Anthony Black, though he's not really contributing very much on the offensive end of the floor, as we all can imagine. So, Adebayo back in the game, it looks like. Mo Wagner taking a seat, likely Wendell Carter coming in, or maybe even Paulo. We have Rozier inbounding the ball here. Heat still up by 4, 8:08 left in the game. Duncan Robinson gets the ball, passes it back to Rozier at the top of the key. We have a Haywood Highsmith screen. A little switch. Paulo is on Terry Rozier. Good contest from Paulo. In and out for Rozier with a mid-range jumper. We have Black pushing the tempo, but a turnover. It looks like Terry Rozier accidentally hit it out of bounds. A little slow to get up there. It's a little hard fall for him to take. He dove for the ball. However, despite those efforts, it will be Magic ball still. Still a 4-point lead, for the Miami Heat. 8 minutes left in the game, as I said. Paolo Banchero back in the game. Looks like the starters, except for Jalen Suggs, are back in the game because Jalen Suggs is in foul trouble. Mo Wagner backing down Terry Rozier. Goes for it, gets stripped by Rozier, I believe. Haywood Highsmith pushing the tempo inside the arc, gives it up to Adebayo, who gives it to Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler getting ready to check into the game here. Hero drives, kicks it to Duncan Robinson, drives into the paint. The finish is no good. Adebayo struggles to find the ball. It gets tipped out to Haywood Highsmith. He misses. And after a little wild sequence there, it looks like the Magic keep the ball. Paolo brings the ball up the court. Nice little crossover. Goes for the finish. Gets fouled at the rim by Duncan Robinson, I believe. And Paolo Banchero, that's a professional move right there. Goes with a little hezzy in between. Goes to the paint. Gets fouled by Robinson. A lot of contact there. It's a good move there. Like I said, very high scoring, but I also do believe that's because of the stoppages that we're seeing. A lot of free throws being attempted. As Paolo takes his first and makes it. It's going to be 4 and 13 free throws for the Miami Heat. That's 17 already combined between both teams. As we do look across the league, it looks like the Charlotte Hornets and Houston Rockets game has started. Game is tied after 4 minutes of play. All the other outcomes almost expected. Brooklyn makes a little comeback. Again, I was talking crap, and they proved me wrong. So we'll see how they look. Paolo makes both free throws. It's 40-42 as Tyler Hero brings the ball up the court. Gives it off to Bam Adebayo. Adebayo at the top of the key makes a little move. Gets Wendell Carter off bounds, but doesn't capitalize off it. We have Duncan Robinson at the top of the key. Gives it off to Butler. Butler, contested three-pointer with Anthony Black guarding him. That is a miss. KCP has the ball, now gives it up to Paolo. Paolo at the three-point line looks for Franz Wagner, who gets a little touch pass to Anthony Black, wide open in the corner, drills the three, and the Magic regain the lead. There we go. You like to see Anthony Black getting a little bit of offensive game in there, primarily known for his defense. Butler, that's Adebayo. Adebayo goes for a heavily contested corner three, misses, rebound goes back to the Heat, out to Duncan Robinson, drills the three-pointer at the wing, and once again, Miami Heat regain the lead, 45-43. We have KCP wide open in the corner, just rims out, and looks like the Heat are pushing the pace. Little alley-oop from Hero to Butler, and the Heat have a 4-point lead now. That was a beautiful play there from both guys. That's how you capitalize and transition in a 2-on-1 opportunity. Just very solid there. We have Paolo Banchero at the top, controlling the show. Looks like he's calling out a play, calling for an Anthony Black screen. Jimmy Butler is guarding Banchero. They are doubling Paolo now, but it looks like there's a foul, I believe. Not very clear from what the ref's signal was. However, we are going to commercial break now, so let's switch up the games real quick. Let's go to that Brooklyn game. We haven't gone there all day. Also, that game is close, so let's go to, oh, no, looks like the Nets just called a timeout. All right, well, let's go to this Milwaukee game real quick. We also have not gone to this game at all. Let me pull up the stream real quick. Milwaukee and the 76ers. Looks like Brook Lopez does miss that three. Caleb Martin gets the rebound. And we will see what's going on here. Caleb Martin does get that rebound. Let's see. Yeah, looks like my stream is pretty much caught up here. Again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. We will go back to that Miami Heat game once it starts up again. But for now, we're looking at the Bucks and the Sixers game. It does look like Damian Lillard does make the three-pointer. 76ers respond with a two-pointer, and Dame has the ball at the top of the key. If I'm not mistaken, Dame's still struggling from the field once again. Looks like there was a foul called on Damian, on a Milwaukee Buck, so they will be turning the ball over. Not sure who the foul is on, however. It will be 76ers ball. Looks like Caleb Martin was the one who hit that two-pointer. It looks like it was on Brook Lopez. So that is our little break there. Maxi's looking better at everything. That's good to hear. I haven't watched any of the games so far. That's going to be a game that I watch later on. 5 for 15, 1 for 5. Looks like he's just taking the majority of the offensive load, just from the box score, of course. Can't wait to watch how he does later tonight when I rewatch that game. However, Maxey drives to the paint. That looked like a foul to me, but no call from the refs. Looks like we're going to have Lillard bringing the ball up the court now. I love pushing the agenda of Maxey first option. I love actually, you know what? That wasn't even Maxey. That was who was that? That was KJ Martin, it looks like. So nice. We have Damian Lillard now grabbing the rebound. Is he okay? Looks like Damian Lillard might have gotten smacked in the head. That's unfortunate, as we do have a little bit of a stoppage in play. Kelly Oubre calling for a replay. Looks like Kelly Oubre did scratch Damian Lillard just a little bit. Kind of touched his head just a little bit. And they do call a foul on that. Looks like we do get a 2-point shot made here. Stream is a little laggy, so I do apologize. Not giving you the best play-by-play here. But it looks like an and one here from Gary Trent. Not completely sure what happened here. Let's watch this replay real quick. Just a great play there. Great cut. Fake screen. Gets in there. Gets fouled by KJ Martin, looks like. Just a good play there. Overall, Gary Trent at the line. The former Toronto Raptor, still one of the better three-point shooters in this league. Still a very competent player. Looks like he'll be taking the role of Malik Beasley from last year. Not too big of shoes to fill for Gary Trent. I'm pretty sure he can do that pretty easily now. Looks like a little offense here. We have Oubre with the ball now. Oubre gets the screen from Drummond, drives down the paint, gets it to go. Oubre brings it to a 2-point game here. 2-point game here. Dame driving to the paint. The layup, beautiful, gets it to go. And here we go. There's Maxey now. Maxey driving down to the paint. Finds Oubre. The shot misses. But Oubre does get his own rebound down in the paint. Portis defending. Portis with a good contest. Grabs the defensive rebound. Dame controlling the show while Giannis is on the bench. So Dame passes it off to Bobby Portis, who's on the baseline. Passes it up to Taurean Prince. Wide open. Gets the layup to go. Good games here tonight. We have that Pistons game that we will be checking on in just a little bit. Looks like a little steal here from Bobby Portis. Looks like he wanted to yam it, couldn't do it. And Bobby Portis taunting the crowd, doing the little money symbols. It's a little timeout here. An 8-point game. The Milwaukee Bucks leading. That's a great play there. Gets the layup to go. It looks like we will be switching games here as the Milwaukee Bucks now have, I believe, an 8-point lead over the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's take a look at, let's actually go back to that Orlando game. That's probably the game that intrigues me the most, as I've been saying. Looks like we are coming back from a timeout right now, so perfect timing. Paolo Banchero taking a lot of the offensive load today, but he's taking a much nicer shot selection. So, just good to see overall. We will have, it looks like we have Bam Adebayo at the line, I believe. It says KCP made a technical free throw. Not sure what happened there. However, looks like everything was settled out there. Wasn't watching, of course. Bam Adebayo makes the free throw. And now the lead is back up to 5 for the Miami Heat. As we mentioned, Kevin Love not playing, Josh Richardson not playing today for the Miami Heat. Still looks like that's no problem. Their offense, both teams' offense is looking a lot better. The second quarter is honestly a lot more what I expected. A lot of defense, a lot of physical play, as we've been seeing with a lot of fouls being called recently. Paulo driving to the paint, little Euro step, still gets it to go off balance. Paolo Banchero having a very good opening to the season here. He's got, I believe, 14 today. Let's check that real quick. As the Heat have the ball, Butler gives it off to Jovic. Jovic strong, and it looks like the Magic will get the ball back. Paulo's at 13 points, by the way. 13 points tonight. Wendell Carter left wide open in transition, misses the three-pointer. Franz Wagner in the corner. Rebound goes out to KCP, who passes it to Wagner. Wagner gets it to go. And the game is now tied at 49 apiece. Franz Wagner with the three-pointer. That's always good to see. A lot of questions about his shot after having, I believe, the lowest three-point percentage for any player above a certain amount of attempts last year. He shot, I believe, like 28 or 27% from three. That's pretty much unacceptable for a player of his caliber. However, he does get the corner three to go. We have Tyler Hero with the little Euro step. That does not go in. However, he is fouled by Franz Wagner. Wagner goes up, makes contact with the body in the air. We will see 2 free throws from Tyler Hero. I feel like that's honestly the story of the game so far. A lot of fouls being called. Both teams already in the bonus. Just overall, a lot of physical play from both these two teams. That's to be expected, but also to see, if you look at that first quarter score at the very top of the screen, 32-32 is extremely high for two teams of this nature. However, it looks like we are evening out with this pretty low-scoring second quarter. So 10 fouls from the Magic, 8 from the Heat. That's pretty ridiculous considering we're barely halfway through the second quarter. So looks like Anthony Black is still in the game. As I said, Jalen Suggs, I believe, has 3 fouls. Probably will not see him for the rest of the half. Anthony Black now has the ball. Paulo sets a screen, pops, open from 3. He has Bam Adebayo on him. That's obviously going to be a tough matchup for anyone. But Paulo left open. Hero with a little mental lapse. But Paulo misses it short. Rebound goes back out to Anthony Black. Has the ball. KCP drives to the paint. Gets it stripped away. However, it is still Magic ball. Miami Heat looking good. Orlando Magic looking good. These are two teams with high playoff aspirations. So we're looking to see how they do. We get a close-up of Coach Eric Spoelstra here, one of the best, if not the best, head coach in the league. Anthony Black now passes it out to Wendell Carter off the inbound. 6 seconds left. Gets a pump fake from Jovic. KCP drives to the mid-range, gets fouled on a shooting attempt from Jovic. There'll be 2 shots here. Another foul, like I'm saying, another foul. 3:04 left to go in this quarter. We're almost at halftime here. Just a little bit longer to go. Let's take a look at that foul count as well for Jovic. Not sure what he was looking at. That's only 1 for Jovic, so not too big of a deal. However, 3 for Jaquez, 2 for Robinson. Probably won't see them for the rest of the half. Wagner at 3. Did not notice that. Or Franz Wagner at 3, Mo Wagner at 2, and then Suggs at 3. So a lot of key players getting into foul trouble here near the end of the first half. We have KCP at the line, makes both free throws. We're tied up once again, 51-51. Terry Rozier with the ball in his hands, brings it up, passes it off to Hero. Little give and go here. Blocking foul called on KCP. And looks like we're going to be going to commercial break. Once again, the story of the game, just a lot of fouls. In fact, a ridiculous amount of fouls being called, if you ask me. Let's go back to this. Let's go to this Brooklyn game. Haven't seen a single second of this game. There's only 1 minute left in the half, according to NBA.com. So we will see what's going on here as the game loads for me. Hopefully all of you are having a great Wednesday night. I'm glad you can be spending it with me tonight, as the Hawks have I think it said that was in fact, I'm sorry, that's actually the Nets that have a 5-point lead, I believe. Jalen Johnson gets a little free throw to go, and 1, I believe. In fact, no, it looks like that was from earlier in the game. My apologies. We're going to have Cam Thomas sub out for the Nets. Looks like my stream is about a minute and a half ahead of this ESPN broadcast, so I apologize. I'll show you the box score real quick here as we look at the final seconds of the Hawks and the Nets. The Nets hold a 5-point lead over the Hawks. Shocking. However, true. Looks like Trae Young's going to be holding for one of the final shots of the quarter. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Trae Young gets double-teamed, gives it off to Jalen Johnson. Johnson drives to the paint, almost posterized. I believe that's Day'Ron Sharpe. Does not, though. In fact, no, that's not Day'Ron Sharpe. That's Noah Clowney. Or, you know what? I'm sorry. That's Dorian Finney-Smith. Wrong jersey number. Almost posterized as DFS. In fact, inches away from becoming a highlight. However, That will not go, and I believe it would be a foul on DFS, if I'm not mistaken. Literally inches away. You can see Jalen Johnson wanted that one, but he will get 2 free throws here. There's 8.4 seconds left in the first half. Jalen Johnson, 6 points today. If he makes both these free throws, that'll be 8. Nope, he misses the first one. I guess I just jinxed him. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. Just got that lucrative extension, though, so $30 million a year almost. If Jalen Johnson turns out to be who we think he can be, that's going to be a steal. I guess it is concerning, though, to see that he was 0 for 2 from the free throw line before this, and he just missed his first one. We do see DFS get subbed out. He has 4 personal fouls. Jalen Johnson does make his second. I apologize. These stats are not completely accurate. However, it does tell mostly the story of the game as Schroeder pushes the tempo, finds Cam Johnson. I'm sorry, that's not Cam Johnson. That's Zaire Williams, number 1. Cam Johnson's number 2. Zaire Williams goes for a 3-pointer on the wing, misses. That will be the end of the first half and the end of my watching experience of this game. Let's keep moving along. Let's go to this Milwaukee game. I haven't given this one much attention. In fact, I'm sorry. I apologize. This game does not need attention. It looks like I need to update my ESPN browser. Let me do that real quick. Milwaukee Bucks up by 12 here. 54. In fact, it's now 11 points as I see on my broadcast. There's a minute and 54 seconds left in the half. Looks like my ESPN browser up here has not been updating. However, I can see the Milwaukee Bucks have a pretty sizable lead. Let's check out Toronto then. Let's check out Toronto and Cleveland. Even this game's starting to become a blowout. Cleveland has a 14-point lead. It's just that my browser is not updating. So my apologies for those last 30-ish seconds. We'll come back to Heat and Magic. Looks like there's only a couple minutes left in the half for this one. So we'll come back here. The game that we've been watching here, the marquee game, I'd say, of the early games because of Embiid, Paul George, and Chris Middleton's injury. Looks like we have another foul here. Again, the story of the game here, personal fouls. A lot of guys having to sit out the remainder of this first half because of it. Honestly, I think it's a little ridiculous that we've seen this many fouls so far. A lot of them, I believe, could be called no calls. However, I'm not the one reffing the game, so I guess I have no say. Anthony Black is going to be at the free throw line here. We have 2 minutes and 41 seconds here. Once again, I apologize for the ESPN stream being a little bit behind compared to the stream that I am watching right now. However, I will keep you updated. The Miami Heat do have a 2-point lead. I'm sure it will show it shortly on the play-by-play how they get that 2-point lead. However, Anthony Black at the free throw line. Again, if you're watching this, if you enjoy, leave a like on the stream, subscribe. It does help out the channel a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. So, looks like Anthony Black does make the second free throw. Heat take the ball out. Terry Rozier at the top of the key. Get a little give and go with Jimmy Butler. Gets it back. We have Jovic driving down the paint. We have Wendell Carter guarding Jovic. Bam goes for a little block. Looks like that might have been clean. I'm sorry. Bam goes for a dunk. Paulo might have gotten it clean. However, they are calling it a foul. We will have to see a replay to see if that was clean or not. Don't want to make an assumption. However, the way Paulo was motioning it was. They do not challenge the call. It looks like Bam will be going to the free throw line. Bam Adebayo, one of the best defenders in the league, rims out of this first free throw. I love seeing the memes with him and Asia Wilson. Honestly, great content. We'll see if she gave him any pointers here at the free throw line. We'll see if she helped him here. Adebayo does hit the second one. They now have a 2-point lead over the Orlando Magic, 54-52. Paulo controlling the tempo here, moving up the court slowly. Looks like they are keeping all eyes on the court on Paulo. He looks like he is the main offensive threat today. Little pick and pop here, gets by Adebayo, misses the layup. However, he gets his own miss, and he also misses the putback. We have Wendell Carter in the paint here, finds an open shooter in KCP at the top of the wing. What is going on in this game? KCP completely breaks, hits the side of the backboard. Anthony Black grabs the rebound, misses the wide open layup. Miami Heat have the ball now. Bam Adebayo goes for the wide open baby hook and misses it. couple defenders in the area. This is a little wild sequence here in this game. We have Paolo Banchero. It looks like he gets blocked, potentially fouled, but it is a no call. Miami Heat looking to slow down the tempo just a little bit. However, they give it out to Jovic. He's wide open from three, misses it. Little wild sequence here in Miami. I apologize that this game update is not loading from ESPN. However, I'm not sure what that play was, but it looks like the Magic thought there'd be a stoppage in play. There was not. Paulo hits a wide open jumper, maybe even a three if he got his foot behind the line. However, I wasn't sure. Looks like the Magic now have the lead 55-54. We have Jovic here in the paint, gives it off to Tyler Hero, drives into the paint, gets it tipped potentially by Paulo. In fact, no, that's not a tip. He just completely missed it. So Paulo brings the ball down the court. Sorry, it's just a little wild sequence here. My apologies. Paulo from three, no good. Rebounded by Jimmy Butler. 35 seconds left in the game. About 15-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. We have Tyler Hero here on the wing. Jimmy Butler going to work against KCP. It looks like he elbows KCP in the mouth. No call, however. And the Magic have time for one final shot. They do hold a 1-point lead in this game. They do need to get across the court, and they do, and they call a timeout. So, looks like KCP is still on the floor after getting elbowed by Jimmy Butler in the post. We will stick with this game because only 12 seconds left. One final shot here, and it's also the closest game out of everything. As we see the replay here, yep, Jimmy Butler just goes up. Looks like he elbows him in the mouth and nose area. Butler does miss that shot. Magic get the ball, and it looks like they will get time for one final shot. As they're mentioning here, we have KCP as one of the key ingredients. In addition, for the Orlando Magic this offseason, as well as Tristan da Silva, a very NBA-ready prospect here in Orlando. Looks like he will be getting ready to play potentially later in this game, if it is a blowout, because he's probably not playing any actual PT in a close game like this. So, as we almost get to halftime, I do want to pay attention to this Pacers and Pistons game real quick. We are in the third quarter, however, it is still a 6-point game here. I haven't watched this game in a little bit, so I will do a little recap here. Halliburton, 2 for 10 from the field, over 5 from 3. Looks like he's picking up from where he was struggling last year near the end of the season. However, the most shocking thing, 2 assists. Wow, honestly, that even surprises me. Looks like he just has not been much of a factor offensively. Nesmith with 4 fouls. He was great in the early game. Looks like he's kind of cooled off just a little bit. Is this? I was about to say, is that Enes Freeman? It is not. It's Enrique Freeman from Akron. I need to do my research there on Enrique. However, looks like he just got his first NBA minutes within the end of the second and beginning of the third quarter. We saw a little bit of Jarris Walker earlier in the game. Looks like he didn't do too much. Picked up 2 fouls. Hasn't played since. James Wiseman unfortunately went down with an injury. I have yet to hear from him. And yeah, from Pistons side, 4 for 7 from 3 from Tim Hardaway. That's just what you like to see. You like to see this team going for more 3-pointers. However, looks like the Magic game is back. Anthony Black goes for a layup, blocked by Jimmy Butler. Still 4 seconds left on the game clock. So, Magic, once again, will have time for one final shot. KCP was open in the corner, it looked like. They did not give it to him. Gary Harris makes a little move, wide open on the wing. Gets off Haywood Highsmith. Gets the wing 3 to go. The Magic will hold a 4-point lead going into halftime. They are up 58-54. That was a very nice move from Gary Harris. So, all right. Let us switch now to the Detroit Pistons game. Looks like this is also not updating for us. I do apologize. ESPN is not working too well tonight. However, the Indiana Pacers now have the lead, 76-75. What was that parlay? The first guy who commented in here, 3-team parlay, Pacers, Bucks, Warriors, looking pretty good so far. So, hope you're still here and with us. If not, that's perfectly fine. Ron Holland has been playing a lot tonight, At least when you know what? He has not been playing a lot tonight. I feel like every time I tune into this game, he is doing something. So, Ron Holland in the game. We have Cade Cunningham at the top of the key. Spin move. A nice little, not a reverse, a little bring around layup. Gets it to go. Brings the Pistons to back within one. We have, I believe that's Ben Shepherd, number 8. Or no, that's Enrique Freeman. Ben Shepherd is 20-something. But, yeah, Enrique Freeman getting some PT here. Again, never really heard the guy. But we will see what he does. Number 8 for the Pistons. It looks like he's a forward. Guarding Isaiah Stewart. Playing the pick and roll here with Cade. Cade pops. Gets the 3 to go. The Pistons get the lead once again. Looks like a timeout being called from the Pacers. Wow. The Detroit Pistons putting up a very good fight against the Indiana Pacers. Once again, apologize that these box score stats are not up to date. However, that was a great move from Cade Cunningham. And a wide open 3 he gets to go. The Pacers reeling here from the Detroit Pistons. All right, let's take a look at some of these other games. Let's take a look at this Cleveland game. Let's see if anything's happened here. Nope. 20-point game. Yeah, that's predictable. I don't know if many of you were here early in the stream. However, I am not high on this Raptors team. I am a Raptors fan, and I am not high on them. So we will see how they progress as the season goes. Something we haven't seen a lot today of this Rockets and Hornets game. In fact, let's take a little look over here. Let me flip the page here on NBA.com. Rockets Hornets. This will be a very interesting game to see here. The coaching debut of Charles Lee for the Hornets. And the official NBA debut of 3rd overall pick Reed Shepherd. We will see if he plays much today. Also, Tijon Salon. I'm not sure if he'll play much today. However, he was, I believe, the 6th or 7th overall pick. We are also at a break for this Houston game, but it looks like it will end soon. So we will keep it here for just one moment. All right, coming back here for just 1 second. Looks like the Rockets about to start up once again. Thank you all once again for tuning in today. This is the first live stream. We will probably do these once every couple weeks at least, maybe even once a week if I do have the time for it. But we will see as this keeps going what the NBA opening night for about 20 teams has in store for us. Once again, I do appreciate all the support on this live stream. All right, looks like we're coming back here to the Houston Rockets game. Story of the game so far. Let's see. I haven't watched a single second, but let's see if we can find a story here. Out-rebounded by 8, or the Charlotte Hornets are getting out-rebounded by 8. Şengün already has 11 rebounds midway through the second quarter. That's extremely impressive. In fact, he already has a double-double. So all of you who bet that, I'm sure you're happy, though I'm sure the odds aren't great on that. I'd like to see a little more from Brandon Miller, only 4 field goal attempts in 9 minutes. I'd like for him to really be the forefront of this offense. I think he has a lot of potential as a number 1 here, so I'd like to see a little more from him. LaMelo already 5 threes attempted. That is not shocking. LaMelo Ball likes to take his three-pointers. But overall, looks like it's just been a good game from the Rockets. Nothing too much crazy going on right now. Here we are. It looks like we have Micic bringing the ball up here for the Hornets. Micic has the ball, gives it off. A little fake screen from Richards. Richards does make the screen here. That's Brandon Miller or that's not Brandon Miller. That's Miles Bridges. I don't know how I got those two confused. And it looks like there will be a ball turnover there from Trey Mann, who is in the game. However, sloppy play from the Rockets gives it right back out of bounds. Ball coming back to Charlotte. The Rockets do have an 11-point lead now. Again, this is not updated. Not sure what ESPN is doing with their updates because it was going pretty fast looking at the Pacers and Pistons game earlier. However, I guess with more games, it takes more time to load understandable. Brandon Miller has a ball at the top of the key. I guess that's why I'm here. That's why I'm pretty much commentating these games. Brandon Miller tries to get the ball off to Nick Richards. It is deflected by Şengün. Green has the ball. Green with a... I'm sorry, not Green. That's Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore had a very creative Euro step there. It was goaltended, though, by Miles Bridges. So those 2 points will count. Almost a slowed down little Euro step there from Cam Whitmore. That's very good. Micic has the ball. That's stripped, given to the Rockets. Fred VanVleet, it looks like he's hurrying it up, trying to get the tempo going. This isn't a game that we're probably going to be watching much more of. It's a game probably to watch on your own time while we have good games like the Pistons and Pacers and Heat and Magic going on. Looks like that's an alley-oop up to Cam Whitmore, who gets the layup in. It is a 15-point game here in the second quarter. Not much more to comment on here. Let me see what the other games are doing. I hate to leave this game so quickly, but I don't think that's going to be much of a contest. Is this game back from halftime? We are not, unfortunately. So I'm going to go back to the Pacers game. It looks like that one's going to be starting up once again. The score is 86-82, if I'm not mistaken. The Pistons are up. It looks like now it's 87-82. So maybe a potential foul here. We are switching streams real quick. Nope, 87-82. We're at the end of the third quarter, unfortunately. So we probably will have to switch it back to the Rockets game. Or, we could go to Milwaukee's kind of a blowout now, if I'm not mistaken. Though I will double-check that to see real quick. Actually, we can do that. If we go to Gamecast here, yeah, they're at halftime anyway. But it is an 11-point game. Not too shocking considering no Paul George, no Joel Embiid. We do have Jaden Ivey getting the ball here. One last shot for the Pistons. 18 seconds left on the game clock. Cade Cunningham has the ball at the top of on the Detroit Pistons logo, in fact. Looks like Jaden Ivey coming for a screen. Looks like Cade Cunningham going to work. Little step back. 3. Gets it to go. What a move from Cade Cunningham. Gets the contested step back 3 to go. And the Pistons have an 8-point lead over the former Eastern Conference Finals appearance team, the Pacers. Not sure what I'm trying to say there, but just an incredible shot there over Ben Shepherd from Cade Cunningham. And all of a sudden, the Pistons, man, looking pretty solid, looking pretty good. That's going to be an interesting watch in this fourth quarter. But if Cade Cunningham is playing like that, well then it's going to be tough to stop the Pistons. Jaden Ivey only 8 shot attempts tonight, but 5 from 6 from the free throw line. That's what you like to see, really. Tim Hardaway Jr., as we said earlier, 4 for 7 from 3. Again, that's just what you like to see. A team not great at a team not great at three-point shooting, still not great at three-point shooting. But if the other team's not shooting it well from three-pointer, maybe the Pistons have a better chance of winning. Who knows? Overall, as we keep looking at all of these stats, nothing too crazy stands out, honestly. Malik Beasley, 10 shot attempts is honestly, that's something. And the fact that Jalen Duren, 12 rebounds. He had a lot early on in this game. Just going to keep looking through this. Halliburton, 4 for 13 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. Miserable shooting night from Mr. Halliburton. I would make a comment about the picture that we've seen go around, but that doesn't seem right. ESPN does not have a game cast for this game. I do live in Louisiana right now. I am blocked from watching that game. I need to have the local cable. However, I can pull up a totally legal stream to watch it. We will see. We'll just keep checking out all these games. We'll watch this Nets game. I said we wouldn't come back to that too much, but nothing else is on, so we might as well come back to that. And honestly, I don't really want to see the Pelicans if Zion and DeJounte are there. I'd like to see them fully healthy. However, I of course will have my workaround if need be. It's 7:58 right now. I'm going to be heading out as these early window games end and as the late window games start. So I do appreciate all the love and support. I do have another hour or so on the stream. So just to give you all a heads up, I do appreciate it all though. So we have the Nets game here. Looks like the Hawks get a rebound from a missed 3. Trae Young bringing the ball up the court, guarded by Dennis Schroeder. Gives it up. That's Dyson Daniels right there. Dyson Daniels with a nice move on Cam Thomas, gets the layup to go. All of a sudden, a 2-point game here in Atlanta. Atlanta making a little comeback after being down by 5 at halftime, I believe. Ben Simmons in the game. There's a Ben Simmons appearance, folks. Goes for a little flashy pass, or not even flashy, just a little look-behind pass. Gets it intercepted here. Trae Young goes up for Jalen Johnson, intercepted by the Brooklyn defender. Can't really see who that is. Ben Simmons moving up the court, passes it off to Schroeder. Wide open for 3, he misses, and DeAndre Hunter gets the rebound. We have Trae Young moving up the floor. There's about 9 minutes left in this third quarter. Still a lot of basketball to play here for both sides. So still a lot to go through here. We have Trae Young. A nice little pass there to Dyson Daniels as we are watching it now. And yeah, I'm curious to see how Dyson Daniels will continue to fit on this team. It's just a lot of question marks still to be answered here from both sides, honestly. Ben Simmons here looks like he takes a little nasty fall, gets his leg caught up just a little bit, but he is thankfully okay. Clint Capella in the game. See, I just I want to keep seeing these rotations. I want to keep seeing how these teams adapt to other teams. Dyson Daniels has the ball up there now. Trae Young, little dribble move, little hop step, gets the layup. Doesn't go in fact, it hits the side of the backboard, and Trae Young draws a foul after grabbing his own rebound. So, good thing ESPN is starting to finally update. However, they are still about a minute behind. So, that sounds about right. Trae Young does miss that first shot, gets his own rebound, fouled by Cam Johnson. I'm sorry, it looks like Ben Simmons fouls him. Trae Young frustrated that he couldn't get that initial shot to go. However, he is now at the free throw line where he's almost automatic. Didn't want to jinx him there. He does make the first one, though. So, this Brooklyn Nets team, I don't know what they're going to even look like in January. So, I'm just taking what's happening here with a grain of salt from both teams, honestly. Because I don't know what Atlanta is either. Atlanta is probably going to be a play-in team, but I don't know if they win more than 35 games, This roster is depleted, and they just don't have the necessary talent to compete with any of the teams, even in the play-in in the East. This might be like an 8 or 9 seed, and that's honestly ridiculous when you think about how depleted this roster is. This is not a very good Atlanta team, but it's also not a very good bottom of the Eastern Conference. From what we're seeing, the Detroit Pistons might be a play-in team. I was talking about earlier how maybe their goal probably wasn't to be a play-in team, but more so just to get some wins. But at this point, from what we're seeing, Game 1, some overreactions. The Detroit Pistons are a play-in team, and they are looking competent now, which is honestly crazy to say considering what they just went through last year. Cam Thomas gets an open 3, gets it to go. We have about 8 minutes left in this third quarter here. Don't want to spend too much time on this game. We'll come back to it if it's still close, but I do want to pay attention mostly to that Pistons and Pacers game, and eventually of course, the Heat and the Magic game. But for now, actually, let's check those games. We just see a little turnover here. Just some sloppy ball, honestly, from both sides. Let's keep seeing. Yeah, well, we're going to go back to the Pacers and Pistons game. I think that's fair to say. First game of the night, probably so far the best game of the night, other than they might even be better than the Heat and the Magic, depending on what you like from basketball. A lot of fast-paced tempo here, as you could expect from the Pacers and the Pistons. But it looks like we are coming back. TJ McConnell, it says, does make a 1-foot shot. My stream is a little bit behind right now. But it does look like... Actually, no, it looks like maybe they took the Pistons just took a timeout. My apologies. I read that wrong. So we will continue to wait for this game. As we do, let's look at some team stats in total here. Both teams, or it looks like the Pistons took a couple more threes, made a couple more threes, in fact. They're now 34% from 3. Still a big improvement from last year. Both teams' free throws around the same. Rebounds around the same. Big turnover gap here. Or not turnovers, I apologize. A lot of steals and blocks gap here. That's 16 combined to 7 for the Pistons. Doesn't matter so far. Looks like the fast break controlled by Pacers. Makes sense. 15 fouls from both. Like, this all makes sense, honestly, because it's honestly been a pretty even game, which is saying a lot. In fact, I don't even know what it's saying a lot about, you know? Both of these teams are, both of these teams could be very good. They both could also not be very good, you know? We don't know anything about either of these teams until the first week of the season. If you guys remember, the Pistons went, I think, 2-1 at the beginning of last year. Now, all of a sudden, they're in the middle of a 27-game losing streak right after they went 2-1. So, this might be the best of the Pistons that we see, like we saw last year at the beginning of the year. But, I mean, I like to be optimistic, especially with a team this young. A lot of good acquisitions in free agency. Cade Cunningham looks like he's blossoming into a star, as he was looking like last year, but this year even more so. And you just like to see that from your young guys, especially young guys so highly touted. First overall picks that face a lot of scrutiny. He's been playing a lot better. Just giving you a little look around the association once again. This game's not updating. Actually, I'm not sure what's going on there, but this game is a blowout. I am a Raptors fan. I'll be watching this game, unfortunately, after this stream. I'll probably watch a replay of the game. This is not good. I feel like what's really underrated about this Raptors team is how terrible their defense is. As you can see, 58% from the field, 46% from three, though only on 15 attempts so far. So, just not a great showing at all from the Raptors. Even still, though, we will go back to this Pacers and Pistons game. We have Jaden Ivey at the line now, shooting, I believe this is his second shot. Looks like Ben Shepherd committed a shooting foul. He misses the second shot, rebounded by Ben Shepherd. T.J. McConnell now bringing the ball up on the floor. A lot to like from the Pistons so far tonight. Ron Holland on defense. McConnell does a classic T.J. McConnell move, gets 2 points. Looks like we have Jaden Ivey running the show now that Cade Cunningham's on the bench. Is that a good thing? Probably not. In fact, definitely not. Cade Cunningham looks like he's been the offensive engine so far tonight. We have Jalen Duren going for the layup. He misses the way foul is called, and Miles Turner looks very upset about that call. However, looks like Jalen Duren will be going to the line. Keep watching and seeing if this game is going to continue to get better. It is 8:06 currently right now. This game will probably wrap up within the next 30 minutes. And then after that, I will stick around until the end of the early window. And once again, as I've said earlier, I will be leaving after the early window so that you guys can watch the 2 late games by yourself. But I do appreciate you guys coming in and watching the games with me tonight. I do very much appreciate it. This is, like I said, this is my first ever live stream. I really don't know what I was doing. I just got this idea yesterday, and I was like, how do I live stream? So I'm doing that now, and I really do appreciate all of your support here. We have Jalen Duren at the line. He does make his second shot, so it is 98-93. Pistons are leading with 9 minutes left in the game. So we will see if they can hold on to that lead or choke it away in classic Pistons form. Looks like Bennedict Mathurin, a little off-balance floater, does get fouled by Jalen Duren in the paint. Let's keep looking at our box score here real quick so you can see the stats for the full game. Honestly, it's not surprising, I guess, but Jalen Duren has 12 rebounds. Other than that, highest is 4 from Cunningham. And then you look at the offensive rebounds here. 3 alone from Duren. 3 as well from Siakam. That's a very good showing. Looks like because Halliburton's struggling, a lot of the load is going to Miles Turner and T.J. McConnell. 8 shots in 14 minutes, however, a very efficient night for T.J. McConnell. 7 for 8 from the field. He's a minus 13, which is kind of shocking because I feel like he's been pretty solid when he's on the court. However, he is usually working with the young guys. So I understand. Oh, no. Jaden Ivey just went down, and Bennedict Mathurin just dropped him and got the 3 to go. Or I believe that was a 2, actually. Wow. Oh, no. What is going on? Someone just fell down. That was a ridiculous move there. Tyrese Halliburton went crazy for that one. Mathurin with the little crossover. Ivy goes down. Mathurin foot on the line. Doesn't matter. Still makes it. Wow. That was incredible to watch. Bennedict Mathurin with the highlight of the night so far with that crossover. Jaden Ivey, though, looks like he is okay. Looks like he was grabbing at his knee at first. Looks like he is okay. Nice behind-the-back dribble move. Good pass to Beasley for three. He does miss. Rebounded by Fontecchio. And it looks like there's a little scramble for the ball, but it is brought in by the Pacers. Looks like TJ McConnell will have control of the game. Looks like he's finding Ben Shepherd there. No shot from him, though. Looks like that's Ben Mathurin. Gives it up the top and wide open in the corner. Misses the three. Pistons are up by 2 at this point in the game. That would have been a big shot. Would have got the Pacers the lead once again, however. He does miss, and it looks like it will be Pistons ball. And here comes Cade Cunningham. Looks like that little comeback from the Pacers may be short-lived. Cunningham looked incredible tonight. Looks like that's going to be looks like Cunningham is coming back into the game. I believe that was Ron Holland coming out of the game for Cade Cunningham. So, in case you were keeping tabs on who was in the game and who was not. Looks like we have Cunningham, Ivey, Fontecchio, Duran, and Beasley in the game for the Pistons. And for the Pacers, we have Ben Shepherd, Toppin, Turner, McConnell, and Nembhard. Looks like Nembhard's about to check in. Players discussing the call. Not sure what the call was here necessarily. There's a little scramble for the ball near the end of this little play here. I will tell you what's happening once I figure out what's happening. Refs having a little conversation here. Looks like some of the Pistons coaching staff trying to plead their case for something. Looks like it wouldn't be anything too crazy, though. Looks like Ron Holland wasn't supposed to sub. Oh, okay, I see here. Ron Holland went off to the bench, and then he believed that he was being subbed off. However, there was no substitution called by the referees, and Ron Holland had to come back inbounds. So, looks like just a little miscommunication here. They might be calling something here. We will see. Ron Holland supposed to be in the game, I believe, went out, then came back in. Not sure what they're calling here, though. It might be a technical foul. I'm not sure what the rules are for this situation because I don't think I've seen anything like this in a while. There may be a little technical foul here because of that, but you got to feel bad for the Rook coming out, then coming back on the floor. Unfortunate. I don't know if it'll be a technical foul, but we will see here. Once again, it looks like they're reviewing the play potentially. I have no clue what they are doing at this point in time. Yeah, it looks like right as they're coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it looks like they had 6 men on the court. Because Ron Holland thought that there was no substitution, he came back on the court. Should not have come back on the court. That will be a technical foul. That could be costly in a game this close. That could be extremely costly. A game like this, looks like the Pacers will be getting that free throw. Time to pull away Pacers. It very well could happen. I'd be concerned about that because Cade Cunningham just came in right as the Pacers were going on their little run. However, definitely could happen at this rate. Looks like there will be a technical foul, though, so the Pacers will get some free points here because of a mistake from the rookie. Ben Mathurin will be at the line here. Ben Mathurin the shot, and that one will go in. All of a sudden, 1-point game, and that could really be a problem. Looks like Ron Holland choking with it on the bench with some of the vets. Good to see him laughing that one off because that's just really just a small error for a rookie to make. It will be the Pacers' ball, though, after that technical free throw. I believe it will be the Pacers' ball. They are making more substitutions now. A lot of things going on right now. Oh, it looks like, actually, I believe that is a turnover, as ESPN is stating, and the game, as we see, the Pacers do have the ball. Siakam back on the floor, I believe. Halliburton has the ball. Halliburton on the floor as well. Finds Mathurin on the wing. Mathurin has Cunningham guarding him. Looks like that's Halliburton driving to the paint. Gets it to go. Halliburton struggling from the field. Not sure why that says 0 seconds left in the fourth quarter up there. We are going to probably keep it here for the rest of this game. This one's close and it's fun. Then we'll go back to the Magic and Heat after that. We do have Malik Beasley driving into the paint. And he misses, just barely misses that floater, bounces around a little bit, rebounded out to Siakam. Siakam gives it to Halliburton. It looks like Nembhard is fouled by Beasley. Once again, this is a very good game, especially for opening night. So we will keep looking for potentially a Pacers pull away here. Pacers still do have the ball. Miles Turner here near the top of the key, gives it up to Halliburton. Halliburton going to control the offense here. Takes a little step back three. That one barely grazes the rim. That's a strange shot selection there from Halliburton here. We have Cunningham off there near the corner. One-on-one with Siakam. A great move. And that one goes in. Cade Cunningham with a professional move right there. Spin move on the spin move man himself. Pascal Siakam gets it to go. Cade Cunningham, really nice game here tonight. Looks like there will be a foul call on the floor on Miles Turner. We are watching a replay of this move. Little crossover, gets Siakam off balance. Gets a good little baby hook to go there. Beautiful move there from Cade Cunningham. As the game continues to wind down, 7 minutes left. Pacers are down by 1. So we will continue watching this game, seeing what happens here. Looks like Mathurin is going to be open for 3 on the wing, and he gets it to go. Ben Mathurin drills the three-pointer, puts the Pacers on top by 1 point. Or I'm sorry, it looks like his foot was on the line. So 2-pointer there. Pacers up by 1. We have Cunningham now wide open at the top of the key. He misses it just a little too strong there. Halliburton brings it up, pushes the tempo, moves in, tries to give it up to Turner, turns the ball over. Cunningham in good position. He comes in, passes it off. Looks like that one's going to go in. That's Tobias Harris. And 1. Looks like, I'm not sure who that was. I believe it was Andrew Nembhard, who was in the restricted area, tried to take a charge. Yep, it was Andrew Nembhard. In fact, he wasn't in the restricted area, but that is certainly a blocking foul. Tobias Harris gets the shot to go. And it looks like the Pistons have now regained the lead. There will be a timeout on the floor. There was a couple players down. And yeah, so we will continue monitoring this game as it looks like Tobias Harris will be going to the free throw line. In fact, they are challenging the call now. I believe it was a blocking foul here from Andrew Nembhard. He did motion his body a little bit to the right at the last second. That may affect the official's decision. However, this is a pretty big call considering there is 6 minutes left in the game, and that would be a lost timeout from the Pacers if that is deemed to be incorrect. So it looks like we have some. Oh, is that Jeff Hardy? Oh, that's cool. Jeff Hardy's in the Detroit Pistons game. That's pretty cool to see. He's looking pretty old nowadays. Looks like in this Hawks game here, we have all that. I don't believe that to be true. It looks like the ESPN is really bugging out recently. Let me make sure and see if this Magic game is still at halftime. I would be shocked if it was. And they may still be. In fact, that's just an extremely long halftime. Yep, they are still at halftime. Looks like there's going to be about a minute left, and they will be back. Let's keep looking around the league. Milwaukee Bucks up by 13. Not too surprising. Let's look at what Giannis is doing. 15, 9, and 6. Makes sense. Dame Lillard has definitely turned it up after a slow start. Good to see that from him. Overall, Maxey, 6 for 21, 1 for 7 from 3. I'll have to watch that game, see what the shot selection is like. I'm sure the majority of the defense is keeping their eyes on him, so I'm not going to judge him too much for that. And also, he has KJ Martin starting and Andre Drummond, 2 not great offensive pieces. So we will see what happens there. This Cleveland game is a blowout. I am ashamed to be a Raptors fan. This is just bad. Scotty, 3 for 13. What you doing, man? Scotty, come on. 7, 6, and 5, a minus 31. That is ridiculous. That man is making $40 million a year. So, always great to see that. We have quickly not taking too many shots. Grady Dick playing okay. Overall, just disappointed to be a Raptors fan. Put a bag over my head. We will keep moving along. We have the Pacers at the Pistons still. That is the main game that we are focusing on right now. The first game that we were watching earlier tonight, it looks like the call was overturned. In fact, I guess I'm completely wrong. The call was overturned. They do call it a charge. That layup from Tobias Harris will not count. The Pacers will get their ball back. They do have the ball back here. We have Tyrese Halliburton moving down, tries to get the ball to Miles Turner. That is deflected off of Ivy, and that one goes into the stands. However, the Pacers do retain the ball and possession. Good fourth quarter here from the Pacers. A 19-12 advantage in this quarter alone. They do hold a 1-point lead, as you see. Miles Turner gives it off to Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton drives, kicks it. Siakam, 3, no good. Just a little bit too strong there. Tim Hardaway Jr. with the board gives it up to Cade Cunningham. Still feels a little weird to see all these new guys in their new places, like Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. Sometimes I do get them confused, so my apologies if I do. However, that was Tim Hardaway Jr., I believe. Actually, was it? I don't even know at this point. Cade Cunningham with a mid-range jumper off balance that is no good off the front rim. Tyrese Halliburton has the ball, gives it up Pascal Siakam. Siakam with the ball. Posts up Tobias Harris. Backs him down in the paint now. He takes a little fall-away mid-range jumper. That one is no good. That was a tough shot. Still took it. Still missed it. That was, it looks like we do have Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. So it was Tim Hardaway Jr. who took that shot. Looks like they're both on the court right now. We have Tobias Harris controlling the tempo here. That one is Tim Hardaway Jr. Passes it off to Stewart. Motions off the pass. Takes the corner 3. That one is no good. A little too long there. We have Halliburton here at the top of the key. Or not at the top of the key, excuse me. He's near the center court logo. Halliburton gets by his defender. Takes the 3. That one rattles in and out. Rebounded by Cunningham here. This is a fast-moving game here. Not a lot of points scored, but a lot of shots being taken. Cade Cunningham passes the ball off to Beef Stew. Beef Stew, Hardaway Jr. Interesting play there. It looks like Halliburton got a little piece of it, but Tim Hardaway Jr. still didn't want to touch the ball. Rebounded by Stew. Cunningham drives to the paint. Tries to get it to go. Just a little too strong. The Pacers get the ball back. Very frantic tempo going on here. A lot of shots being taken from these two teams. 76 and 79 respectively. That just the tempo of this last quarter makes it feel like it's been a lot more, considering also how many misses there's been. Looks like we have Andrew Nembhard bringing the ball up on the court. Little screen from Miles Turner, and they're calling that an offensive foul on Miles Turner, an illegal screen. And that one will be going back to Detroit. Once again, a very frantic pace here in this Pacers and Pistons game. As we see Tim Hardaway Jr. inbounding the ball. Again, this has been a very good game, especially considering that the early game, or the game at 6 o'clock compared to the other ones at 6:30. Normally those ones are a little more slow-paced, a little less exciting. This one has been very fun. The Pistons have been playing a very good game against the Pacers, and even with Tyrese Halliburton's struggles, the Pacers still lead. However, it looks like Cade Cunningham was about to have an open layup blocked by Turner. We have a corner 3 attempt from, couldn't see who that was. However, it was a miss, so it does not matter anyway. We have Tyrese Halliburton bringing the ball up now. Halliburton controlling the tempo. Siakam sets a screen. That's a little miscommunication there from both guys. That ball is almost out of bounds. However, it is saved by Ben Mathurin. Siakam going to work isolation over Harris. Tough shot. Still gets it to go. The off-balance mid-range hit by Pascal Siakam. And it is now a 3-point game, 103-101. Great shot there from Pascal Siakam. Now we see Ivy. Ivy has the ball at the center court, I believe now. Looks like Jalen Duren. Looks like Ivy goes up, gets the layup to go. 3 minutes left in this game. 1-point lead for the Pacers now. They do have the ball. Looks like it will be Andrew Nembhard leading the charge. Siakam has the ball near the top of the key. Gives it up to Halliburton, and Halliburton will go to work. Halliburton finds Siakam open. Gives it up to Mathurin for 3. Wide open. Hits the shot. Ben Mathurin gets the shot to go. And now the Pacers, 2-possession lead now. 106-102. 2:45 left in this game. We have Jaden Ivey now bringing the ball up the court. Finds it in the mid-range. Gets a good shot attempt. Just doesn't go in. And Halliburton now brings the ball up, looking to extend that lead. Siakam wide open. Gets the dunk to go. Looks like there will be a timeout called potentially. No, looks like no timeout, just a little stoppage in play. Siakam gets the dunk to go in transition. Great play there and a great find from Halliburton as the Pistons now trail by 6 points over the Indiana Pacers. Not sure what that stoppage of play was for. However, we are back. Cade Cunningham takes a little baby hook, gets fouled. Pistons shot selection recently has been pretty interesting. A lot of iso ball, not a lot of ball movement. Honestly, just completely abandoning what got them to this position at this point. If you look at the shot chart as of late, a lot of shots being made here, especially in the paint. That looks like 5 shots there in recent times being made. Meanwhile, the Pistons, just a lot of iso ball, a lot of Ivy, and a lot of Cunningham just missing shots. That's just unfortunate to see. Through these, I think these are the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like about 12 or 13 shots. Looks like Pistons have only made about 3 compared to the Pacers. Putting it on and having a good end to the fourth quarter. We do have Cade Cunningham at the line. He made the first one. Second one he is attempting now. However, it looks like a little stoppage in play once again. Looks like there's a little wet spot on the court that's being wiped down right now. Little spillage of Gatorade or Powerade or whatever these athletes are drinking on the sidelines. Not sideline, on the bench. However, it looks like Cade Cunningham will finally be able to take that last free throw from his foul. Once again, thank you all for all the support. Thank you all for tuning in. We are nearing the end of this game. It will be at the end of the early window games where I will be logging off. I do appreciate all the support once again as we are waiting for Cade Cunningham to shoot this last free throw. Once again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Any and all support, greatly appreciated, as I've said before. You get the gist. All right, Cade Cunningham hits that free throw. It's now a 4-point game. We have Andrew Nembhard bringing the ball up the court here. Down the side of the court, looks like Siakam did have a little lane. He didn't give it up to him. Going to reset it now. Nembhard back up near the top of the court. Gives it up to Halliburton. Halliburton going to drive, going to penetrate. Looks like he's going to try and work on Tobias Harris. Takes a little turnaround mid-range. That was a strange shot to take, honestly. It wasn't even a turnaround. It was a full 360 turnaround that Halliburton misses off the front of the rim. Now there's a little controversy over who touched that ball last. It looks like it was certainly Cade Cunningham. However, the ref said that it was Pacers ball. That was the right call. So Ben Mathurin near the top of the key going to work on Cade Cunningham. Brings the ball back. Gets a screen from Miles Turner. Takes the 3 over Duren. Just a little short. Looks like they may be calling a foul, though. Yes, it looks like they have called a foul on Ben Mathurin. That's going to be 3 free throws for Ben Mathurin here. Sorry, I've been talking way too much tonight. A lot more than I expected. But that is perfectly fine. I have very much enjoyed all these games, and I'm glad you're here with me right now. So, looks like Jalen Duren got a little bit of the hand, a little bit of the arm of Ben Mathurin. Refs do call it. This is a chance, if Ben Mathurin makes all 3, to make it a 7-point game for the Pacers to go up 111 to 104. But he does miss the first. Should not have jinxed him there. Ben Mathurin does miss the first free throw. It's still going to be a 4-point game. At most, it will be a 6-point game, which is still a 2-possession game. Duren definitely got a little piece of the elbow there. Not much you can really debate there with the referees. Mathurin, second free throw, just barely goes in there. That one rattled in and out. Take a little sigh of relief, Pacers fans. He got that one to go. And now for this third free throw, this will make it a 6-point game. That would be pretty big if you ask me. There's 1 minute and 43 seconds left in this game. He does make it. Looks like the starters are out for both sides. Well, Ben Mathurin's in the game for, I guess, Aaron Nesmith. No more Aaron Nesmith right now and Ben Mathurin. It is good to see also this close game. You can see where the where teams are looking for in their closing lineups. So if this is what the Pacers are going to do in their normal situation, looks like no more Aaron Nesmith in the starting lineup, and it looks like we'll have some Ben Mathurin to close out some games, but we will have Malik Beasley shooting some free throws here. If he makes both of these, it will be a 4-point game. Still won't be one possession, so still not the end of the world. However, still a little concerning if you're a Pacers fan. However, the Pistons' offense has not looked great so far, and that's something that you just do not like to see. However, Malik Beasley misses that one. Jalen Duren tips it out. However, no one's in the area. That's going to be possession for the Pacers. So, continue watching this game here. Minute 30 left. Halliburton bringing the ball up the court. They are full court pressing, trying to get a turnover. However, they just left Miles Turner wide open in the corner. Does not take the shot. Gives it back to Halliburton. They are trying to waste a little bit of time here. They don't want a little comeback from the Pistons here. Halliburton finds Siakam. Siakam for three, just short. And that one's going to be off Miles Turner. The Pistons have the ball. A minute 13 left. It's still a 5-point game. Pistons only down 110 to 105. They have the ball here. A lot can happen in just 1 minute of time, especially considering this is only a 5-point game. Cade Cunningham brings the ball down. He has the ball, a little give and go, finds it in the paint. Wide open, Tobias Harris in the corner, misses it. And the Pacers grab the rebound. 1 minute left in the game. Looked like a little push off there from Andrew Nembhard. That felt unnecessary. In fact, that felt completely unnecessary. So much so, the refs are going to call a foul. A push off from Andrew Nembhard, a little elbow to the chest, if you will. And I don't know if that's, yeah, looks like Jaden Ivey will be inbounding the ball, but that's a huge mental lapse there from Jaden Ivey. I'm sorry, from Andrew Nembhard to Jaden Ivey. We have Jalen Duren driving into the paint. Looks like they will call a shooting foul on Miles Turner, it looks like. And Jalen Duren will be shooting 2 free throws here. Great game so far. A little mental lapse there from Andrew Nembhard. May keep the Pistons in the game for longer than what we've expected. It's been a very good showing from the Pistons in general. It's unfortunate that their offense has gone a little bit stagnant entering this fourth quarter, but overall, still a very good showing from the Pistons. And overall, a lot to look forward to if you are a Pistons fan. We do have Jalen Duren at the line. He does make the first one. If he makes this one, this will be huge. Brings it down to a 1-possession game. Jalen Duren at the line, of course. The big man, not known for his free throw shooting. However, he does hit the 2 clutch ones. It's now a 3-point game, 110 to 107. Ben Mathurin takes the inbound, trying to give it back to Halliburton, but great defense there from Jaden Ivey to stop the pass. It looks like they're double teaming the ball handlers. However, of course, the Pacers are going to be trying to take away time on the clock. There is 27 seconds left on the clock here. Siakam has the ball, gives it up. Mathurin passes it back. Halliburton open for 3, gets it to go. And Tyrese Halliburton may have just sealed the victory for the Pacers there. Gets the wide open 3 on the wing to go. And the Pacers now up by 6 with about 19 seconds left in this game. 20 seconds left in this game. Tyrese Halliburton, a clutch 3-pointer, even with a struggling day. Not the best shooting night for Halliburton. He gets that one to go. And now all of a sudden, that 0 for 8 3-point night doesn't matter at all because Tyrese Halliburton just hit the biggest 3-pointer of the night. Put the Pacers ahead by 6 points. And now all of a sudden, it looks like the Pacers may be able to finally close out this game. If we keep looking around the association, the Hawks and Nets game, it is a 1-point game with 11:13 left in the fourth quarter. The Orlando Magic have taken a huge lead while we were watching that Pistons and Pacers game. Up by 13 now. Again, not much to comment on here. It looks like Banchero already has 20 shot attempts today. But 22 points, 9 rebounds. Very good game, it looks like, from him. Looks like the starters have been really running it up on the Miami Heat. Looks like they've been struggling to get going offensively in this quarter. Jimmy Butler, 1 for 8. That's not what you like to see, and I bet that's not what he likes to see either in a contract year. So, overall, the Magic up by 13. As we look up here, Milwaukee Bucks up by 18. Let me go back here to this Pacers and Pistons game as they have come back after that timeout. Cade Cunningham is taking the inbound, gives it off to Tobias Harris. Cunningham gets the ball back, takes the fadeaway 3, That's going off the back iron. Pistons do get the offensive rebound, though. Gives it up to Tobias Harris in the corner. 3, in and out. Ivy gets the offensive rebound. Gets it to go. 8 seconds left in the game. Pistons down by 4. Looks like the Pacers have called a timeout, though. Good defensive possession there from the Pacers. Good job closing out on the defenders. Unfortunately, the Pistons do get one to go there. It is now a 4-point game, 8 seconds left. And they're looking to close this one out. The Cavaliers up by 24 here over the Toronto Raptors. Not shocking. Raptors, as we've been talking about, not looking great. However, I will stay away from that game. As we look at some of these games, Houston's up by 12 over the Hornets. We probably won't be watching much more of this game later on. And then we have the Grizzlies and the Jazz that first tipping off now. We have Ja Morant, or the return of Ja Morant after only playing a couple of games last year. Probably one of the biggest dark horse MVPs here being Ja Morant. However, he has a pretty good matchup against the Jazz here. If we look here, it looks like Taylor Hendricks is starting. That's very good to see. He's one of the young pieces that the Jazz drafted last year in the 2023 NBA draft, looking to get some playing time. That's nice to see. Bryce Sensabaugh in the game as well, another 2023 draft guy, and then Keontae George 0 for 4 from the field. Very nice. So let's go back to this Pistons and Pacers game. Let's just make sure everything works out how we think it will work out. Nembhard here inbounding the ball, going to give it up to Halliburton. Halliburton gets fouled. I don't know if that's on the floor or as a shot. Looks like the Pistons were defending the backcourt. Meanwhile, Halliburton was in the front court near the baseline. However, it looks like that might be a shooting foul. Yeah, or, that's actually very stupid of me. Of course, they're in the bonus. So he will, of course, be taking 2 free throws. Halliburton at the line. Very good free throw shooter. Makes the first one. Looks like if you're a Pacers fan, you can rest easy knowing that they're going to get this win. I believe the line was 5.5 points, though. So him making this next free throw will be very important. It is, in fact, he does make it. It is 115 to 109. If you took the spread, good luck. Hope that the Pistons don't make another shot, because if they are due, then things may get a little ugly. All right. Looks like another timeout here, so we can keep looking around the association. As we were talking about earlier, Memphis Grizzlies playing. Zach Edey starting, of course. He is 1 for 1 from the field. So as you can see from ESPN, they get a and 1 for his first basket. Very good for him. Of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. not playing tonight for the Memphis Grizzlies. However, it will be interesting to see what this fully healthy Grizzlies squad looks like, considering that their first 3 are Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Marcus Smart. Very undersized. So it will be curious to see how they look against a team with more size and more experience. Milwaukee has a 20-point lead over here. Cleveland has a 24-point lead. Houston has a 10-point lead. Probably one of the better games of this early window, or somewhat early window. The Orlando Magic, 16-point lead over the Miami Heat. Somewhat shocking, yet not too shocking. The Miami Heat looks like they're struggling a lot from the offensive end of the floor. Like we said earlier, story of this game is a lot of personal fouls. But overall, it looks like the Orlando Magic have been starting to hit their threes, and the Miami Heat just cannot respond. We do have an inbounds play here from the Detroit Pistons here, not to completely disregard this game, and it looks like Malik Beasley will turn the ball over, and that will be the game. The Indiana Pacers have survived 115 to 109, and they will get their first one of the season. Detroit Pistons fall to 0-1. However, a very good effort, especially from Cade Cunningham. Just unfortunate to see near the end of the game they lost some of their offensive firepower. Went to a lot of ISO ball. It just wasn't very effective against the Pacers defense, who really started to lock up. So, great game there. Tyrese Halliburton with the shot of the night with that very clutch three-pointer with just 19 seconds to go to put this game out of reach. And that will be the end of the game. And the end of the first game of our early window. I'll stick around till probably the end of most of these games, depending on the score, of course. To the end of these 4 games up there, or 3 games: Orlando and Miami, Milwaukee, Philly, Cleveland, Toronto. I guess there's the Brooklyn game as well that I'm currently watching right now. Let's go to that Brooklyn game, in fact. There is 9 minutes and 47 seconds left in that game. As we see, Trae Young, 5 for 12. It looks like he's starting to get going. If I'm not mistaken, he had a pretty slow first half. Now he's at 18 and 11. Makes sense for who Trae Young is. As we see here, there's Bogey Bogdanovic. Turns the ball over. And there's a personal foul. Nick Claxton was going down the court, gets fouled. Almost shocking to see Nick Claxton kind of being put to the bench in favor of Ben Simmons. Nick Claxton was a very solid starting center last year. However, it does make sense if they want to see what they have in Ben Simmons. I believe this is the last year of his contract. He also does bring a lot more in the playmaking aspect of things. So I completely understand. I believe that's Jalen Wilson, number 22, from Kansas. He has 14 points tonight. That's a very good showing from the young guy. I'm curious to see what guys like Dariq Whitehead do. That's a guy who I liked coming out of high school. Of course, things did not really go his way in Duke. Didn't play much last year. But now with the team looking to trade a lot of their major assets, or likely trying to trade many of their major assets, it will be interesting to see if he gets some PT and if he can continue to develop how we think he can. We see here Bogey Bogdanovic gives it off, passes it off to Clint Capella. In fact, he does not. He passes it off, tries to get it to Dyson Daniels. That is a turnover. So, not great there. Some Vit Krejci minutes in the fourth quarter. That's interesting. Not sure where Zachary Ricochet is. He was 2 for 8 from the field today. Once again, that's just his first game, so don't judge too quickly. Jalen Johnson out on the court trying to contest Cam Thomas. Speaking of Cam Thomas, 17 shot attempts tonight. Sounds about right. Can't wait for him to get to 22 later tonight, as I assure him he will. Then there's Vit Krejci. Is that a and one? I believe so. I believe Vit Krejci gets that one to go. The score is 92-89 at this point. Actually, there's not much contact there at all. If they called that one an and one, that would be very interesting. And it looks like they did. So 92-89 at this point. Vit Krejci does have the ball, Vit Krejci is at the line. Vit Krejci was scoreless before this moment in a -10. However, he's still getting, fourth quarter minutes. Ben Simmons bringing the ball down the court. Passes it off to Cam Thomas, who gives it up to Mr. Cam Johnson. We have here Nick Claxton still on the floor here with DFS. Gives it up to Dyson Daniels, who gets clobbered by Nick Claxton. Oh, it looks like there may be a little scuffle on the floor here. Dyson Daniels has a little problem with what Nick Claxton did. Looks like it's going to de-escalate a little bit here, but Dyson Daniels and Nick Claxton talking to each other. Dyson Daniels got clobbered there on the fast break by Nick Claxton. I wouldn't be shocked if that's a flagrant foul. As Dyson Daniels was going up for a layup, looks like Nick Claxton kind of pushed him out of the air. However, it looks like both sides have been separated. Tempers have been cooled. And it looks like Dyson Daniels will be going to the line. That was a very interesting play there. Not much of a play on the ball there from Nick Claxton. Well, it looks like there was a play on the ball. Excuse me. However, his arm hit Dyson Daniels in the head, in the face area. It almost looks like a clothesline from the WWE. Almost like that. Just trying to get the ball out of his hands. Hits his face, hits his arm area while he's in the air. Good. I'm glad that he did not get hit harder, and he is okay. They may be reviewing this for a flagrant foul. I do not blame them. I would argue that is a flagrant foul because of how excessive that contact is. However, now on further review, goes mostly to the shoulder. However, because he is still in the air and it really wasn't too much of a play on the ball, I would call that a flagrant one. Then Dyson Daniels does, of course, get angry. They start pushing and shoving each other just a little bit in the crowd before tempers do get cool. Looks like they are still reviewing that. So while they are, let's keeping our eyes out, seeing if there is a comeback here. Orlando 29-10 third quarter. Incredible performance from them so far offensively. This is what you like to see. You like to see Paolo Banchero getting a lot more efficient. Franz Wagner, 1 for 3 from 3. That's still a big improvement from what he would have done last year. Compared to what I think he shot like 28%, 33%. You will absolutely take that. And the crazy thing is, Orlando's up by 23 and KCP is 0 for 5 from 3. Gary Harris is 5 for 6. So, interesting stuff there. Even with the bench unit not really producing much outside of Gary Harris. Paolo Banchero taking a huge load offensively. Already has 30 points in the third quarter. Just a great showing there. On the other side of the court, Jimmy Butler, 1 for 8. That's not what you like to see from your superstar, especially someone who said he was going to be locked in this season. So, and Bam Adebayo, only 1 for 4 from the field. Now 1 for 5 as he misses a 3. However, he is 7 for 10 from the free throw line. All of the starters, specifically the 2 stars, minus 27 from the field, or excuse me, minus 27 on the court. That's not what you like to see. Bucks and Sixers here, if we keep looking at this. Giannis, 19, 12, and 7. Great game from him, as always. Damian Lillard, he started slow. Looks like he's starting to pick it up. He has 30 points and a little bit through the fourth quarter here. Maxey, 7 for 24. You got to feel bad for the guy because he's kind of carrying the load offensively. But then again, I'm sure he's used to Embiid missing a lot of time. We have Cleveland and Toronto here. Cleveland has a huge lead over the Raptors. This game's all but over. Mobley, 9 for 13 from the field, 23 points, 7 boards. That's what you like to see from a guy who is so highly touted out of college, who's given a lot of shine through his rookie year. Though his offensive game remained somewhat stagnant, looks like it's starting to come around. That's what you like to see. 1 for 2 from 3, you also like to see that. Garland, 3 for 12 from the field. That's not what you like to see. If you are a Cavaliers fan, you have to reminisce over the times. Oh, it looks like they kicked Claxton out the game. So it looks like they made a flagrant 2, in fact. So it looks as though the foul on Dyson Daniels is a flagrant 2 foul. Nicholas Claxton is out of the game, and they will be shooting, I believe it's 2 free throws for a flagrant foul. 44% from 3 from the Cavs here. Just an overall, just complete dismantling of the Raptors. Let's keep an eye out on some of the other games that started later in the evening. Rockets up by 11 here. Alperen Şengün, 23 and 15 midway through the third quarter. Again, 6 offensive rebounds is just ridiculous for a guy like Şengün, and I'm sure those have really helped. Dyson Daniels misses the first free throw here. First technical free throw. Jalen Green, 5 for 15, 4 for 10. Both of those guys got their contract extensions. Good for them. That Jalen Green... Oh, Dyson Daniels misses both free throws. That's actually big because it's still a one-possession game now, 93-90. However, Jalen Green and Alperen Şengün, great to see these young guys get paid. I'm curious to see what they look like this year. That Jalen Green deal is very interesting to me. Again, we haven't really seen anything like it at this point in time, so we'll see. And I do like it for the Rockets. Gives them flexibility. And if Jalen Green doesn't work out how they think he's going to work out, as he looked at the beginning, or at the end of last season, then they can get rid of that contract pretty easily. It's not too expensive, only about $34 million a year. And some team will take that just because of the upside of Jalen Green. He's still only about 22 years old. So even if they want to unload that contract, it will not be hard, and there will be suitors for Jalen Green. Looking at the Hornets, Brandon Miller. I don't know if something happened to Brandon Miller. He's only played 11 minutes tonight. Only 2 for 4 from the field. Looks like that was another hard foul here on DeAndre Hunter. There's a little scuffle again. Looks like they're making sure the benches don't get cleared, but it looks like DeAndre Hunter was hit hard by Cam Thomas. Very interesting to see here on back-to-back transition plays. The Nets hit the Hawks players very hard. I'll have to see a replay of that, but very interesting to see that here. Looks like DeAndre Hunter going down for a dunk. Cam Thomas, that one's less egregious than the Nicholas Claxton, but it was still a very hard foul. Hit him across the arms. If you weren't able to see that, looks like the Hawks players were very upset over that after what just happened to Dyson Daniels. We almost got a little bit of a scuffle there on the NBA court. Thankfully, assistant coaches were able to come in and make sure that everyone was separated. I'm not sure why the Nets are doing such hard fouls on the Hawks. However, that is still a situation to keep your eye on. 5-point game there in Atlanta, 95-90. The Hawks are winning. Not sure what happened to Brandon Miller here. We haven't watched much of this game tonight as we are focusing mainly on that Pistons and Pacers game. However, I hope everything's okay with him. I will click on this to see if there's an update from ESPN. Ruled out left hip soreness. Okay. So that's why Brandon Miller has not been playing much. Hope everything's okay with him, of course. Then you look at the bench here. Trey Mann. Oh, boy. That's not a... Micic taking 7 shots in 8 minutes is just a problem. That's something that should not be happening, but it is. And, of course, we look here. Cody Williams looks like he's getting some playing time here with the Utah Jazz. However, looks like John Morant's 2 for 4 from the field. 5 points there. 6 points from, what's his first name? I can't remember his first name. Jalen, yes. Jalen Wells from Washington State. And overall, this game, if you want to watch this game, maybe later, I will leave. If you're new to the stream, thank you all for clicking on the stream. However, we will be heading off here in probably about 30-ish minutes. We're going to be staying for the rest of the early window, and for the late window, going to let you guys relax, watch those games yourself. There are some good games in the late window. Phoenix, LA is going to be interesting. It'll be obviously interesting to see James Harden be the star of the show once again. No Kawhi, so we will see how he does. Phoenix is a team that I'm high on. If you watch my latest video, you will see I am pretty high on them in general. Good team, good squad. If the big three can stay healthy, then that is a team that will be a force to be reckoned with in the West. And the Golden State and Portland, which is a game I think I'm more interested in, which feels crazy to say, but Portland is one of the teams I'm keeping my eye on. They have a lot of young talent. This is Chauncey Billups, probably going to be his last year as a head coach in the NBA, at least for a while. And overall, this is a team with a lot of young talent. I don't believe Shaedon Sharpe is playing, but I was very high on Scoot coming out of the draft, and last year really disappointed me. A lot of the things that we saw in the draft process in the G League just was not there. In the NBA. None of the driving, a lot of settling, a lot of bad passes, a lot of just bad mistakes in general. They're giving Cam Thomas a technical foul, it looks like, for that hard foul. So he will stay in the game, unlike Claxton, who was ejected just about 3 or 4 minutes ago. So as we see here, we have DeAndre Hunter at the line, shooting 2. I believe it is a shooting foul, so that's what they are doing. As I was saying, yeah, Portland, a young team, a lot of good things to like about them. I love Donovan Clingan. If you watch my mock draft video from earlier, I thought he should have been the first overall pick in the NBA draft. I thought his complete play would have been great with Atlanta. However, they did end up taking Ricochet. Clingan fell to number 7. That was a steal for Portland. You got to be curious what happens to Ayton and Robert Williams. So Robert Williams is injured, I believe. You got to be curious what happens to those guys. But honestly, Portland is a team I'm looking out for. I like a lot of their young guys. We'll see what happens there. And, of course, the Golden State Warriors are the Golden State Warriors. It's a new-look team. No Klay Thompson. No, who else left that team? I don't remember who left that team. I remember, Chris Paul, of course. No Klay Thompson, no Chris Paul. This is a new-look team, a lot of new faces in Golden State. So it will obviously be interesting to see how they operate. And, of course, Steph Curry is going to be Steph Curry. I mean, I would be shocked if he doesn't have one of the best seasons of his career because you have to carry so much of the offensive load. And he's still one of the best shooters. And, in fact, he is the best shooter in the league still, of course. But his offensive game is just incredible. So to see him cook for one of the last times in his career, it's going to be very special to watch. As we pay our attention back to this Hawks and Nets game, Cam Johnson goes to the line, shoots 2, and gets him to drop. The Hawks are up 97-92. Once again, this ESPN stream is a little bit behind. I do apologize about that, but if we are watching the game together, then you see what I'm seeing. So Trae Young almost took a very long 3. Does a little give and go, nice floater, gets it to go. Looks like Jalen Wilson is in the game for the Brooklyn Nets. As I was talking about him earlier, we do have Ben Simmons on the court bringing the ball up. About 7 minutes left to go in this game. Hawks are winning by 7. Ben Simmons gives it off to Jalen Wilson. Wilson drives to the basket, barely misses that layup. It goes in and out. Bogey Bogdanovic passes. Dyson Daniels, good pass. Finds Hunter wide open in the corner. Misses a shot. Dyson Daniels gets the rebound with the wide open tip and misses. but finds DeAndre Hunter once again with the offensive rebound, and Hunter makes the three-pointer. Hawks are up by 10 now with about 6:30 left in the game. And that's a bad pass from Ben Simmons. That one's going out of bounds. Looks like the Hawks are starting to pull away here. I'll continue looking around the league, see if there's another game for us to watch. But it looks like most of these games are starting to become blowouts. Magic are up by 25. I'd be shocked if the Heat come back from that because outside of the in the second half, their offense has not looked great. We look at Milwaukee and Philadelphia. This is still a 13-point game. Anything can happen, of course. Looks like Philadelphia's had a good fourth quarter. They're leading the quarter by 6 points, but Maxey, 26 shots. That's a lot of wear and tear on him, and I am concerned, honestly. Joel Embiid's obviously not going to be playing many games this year. I talked about the 76ers in my latest video as well. They were just a team that scares me. If Joel Embiid's, I don't know how many games he's going to play, but the fact that he's already missing games this early into the season is just a terrible sign. Along with the fact that Paul George is already injured, this is a team that's not. It's going to be interesting to see what their health is like in the playoffs, because if they're this injured already before the season's even started, what's it going to look like when they're actually playing high-level intensity games? And this is a team that needs to get off to a quick start. The Eastern Conference, at least the top-end Eastern Conference, has gotten a lot better. And Philly cannot afford to be the 7th seed like they were last year. They cannot afford to not have home court advantage in that first round, because if they are one of the lower seeds and they have to play Boston, New York, Milwaukee, even Orlando at this point, I might even take over Philadelphia, seeing their new look offense. Philadelphia, they're going to need to be fully healthy, and they're going to need to have that home court advantage, or else things are going to be bad for the Sixers. So Warriors, last team needed for 4-team parlay plus 450, had Pacers, Bucks, Cavs, and Warriors. Well, that Pacers, Bucks, and Cavs, it's looking good. I mean, the Warriors should probably dispatch of the Portland Trailblazers, even if they are away. Trailblazers have a lot of things to worry about, even if they are a young, exciting team. So hopefully you cash that out, man. I won't be with you for that one, but hope you cash that one out. We're seeing here in this Nets game, Hawks up by 9 with about 5 minutes left. Cam Thomas gets a nice little layup to go in. It is a 7-point game with about 5 minutes left to go. We'll continue keeping our eyes on this game because I guess it still is close. Once again, ESPN is not updating up to speed, but Trae Young gets fouled, goes to the line. If we keep looking around the association, it looks like this Houston Rockets and Charlotte Hornets game is getting a little close for comfort. It looks like LaMelo Ball has had a pretty good third quarter. It looks like 20 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Good showing for him. Good to see him back on the court. I'd say the world is always better when the balls are playing. So when Lonzo and LaMelo. Where's this Bulls game? There's a Bulls-Pelicans game. I'm not sure why it's not showing up there. Let me check on that real quick, actually. The Bulls and Pelicans game. Let me check on that on a different browser. Pelicans. I'm not sure why that one's not showing up here on ESPN. I know they were going through some technical things with that game. Yeah, ESPN's not showing that game as active. So let me look up that game on Google. Let me see what's going on in that one. Because speaking of the Ball brothers. Oh, that game's in the fourth quarter. Wow. I did not know they were that far ahead. Looks like the Pelicans are up by 8 points. I apologize for not really giving you many updates on that game. If ESPN had updated that one, I would. Lonzo Ball played 14 minutes of 5, 4, and 2. Pretty solid for just starting. Zach LaVine has 23 tonight. Kobe White has 10. Vucevic, 16. As you guys know, no Zion Williamson, no DeJounte Murray. CJ McCollum looks like he's been having the majority of the offensive load, as has Brandon Ingram. DeJounte Murray is playing tonight. Who isn't playing? Oh, it's Trey Murphy not playing. My apologies. DeJounte Murray is 10, 7, and 5. Pretty solid. I don't know what this team's going to look like in the near future, especially considering they have so many mouths to feed offensively. And with Zion back and with Trey Murphy back, who they just gave an extension to, that's going to be interesting to watch them try to facilitate that. Let me also say the lack of a center is honestly scary. They're playing Daniel Tice 15 minutes. They're playing Yves Missy 16 minutes. So Yves Missy has a 10-7. That's pretty solid. I have to watch the game, of course, to know if that's an impactful 10-7, but no Trey Murphy, no Zion, no problem, it looks like, for the Pelicans. However, anything can happen. It looks like the Chicago Bulls have had a pretty solid fourth quarter there. So, if things get super crazy, I'll find a way to show you a game update. Might have to just pull that one up on Google. But for now, let's go back to the Nets and the Hawks game. That one, oh, nope, looks like that one went to commercial. So how about we do go to that Bulls and Pelicans game? Just real quick, want to make sure we get to the all the big time games tonight. It looks like the Bucks have a 16-point lead. That's great for them. 4 minutes left in the game. They should definitely close that one out. Let's go here, and then we're looking at the Pelicans and Bulls game. I probably won't have a visual for that one. I apologize, but if you do have League Pass or any other way to watch the game, go ahead and pull that one up with me here. Josh Giddey on the floor. Haven't been able to see him play much for the Bulls today. In fact, I haven't been able to see him play at all today, of course, because we haven't watched him. So curious to see what that looks like. I'll definitely rewatch that game probably tomorrow morning. That's the good thing about having a lot of basketball playing. You can just rewatch the games in the morning. You miss a game, that's fine. You can just rewatch that one in the morning, and it's going to be faster than watching the full game. So you just got to love NBA basketball. You got to love having all these choices to go through. So definitely not sponsored by the NBA. I wish I was, but definitely not sponsored by the NBA here, as it looks like Brandon Ingram was fouled by Ayo Dosunmu on a little drive at the top of the key. As we see the Hawks have that 10-point lead, I believe, as we were talking about. Looks like the Pelicans are up by 12 now. This shouldn't be too much of a problem for the Pelicans to close out. However, just want to make sure they get that one done. The most compelling game of the night, and the one that we'll probably leave off on, will be the Hawks and the Nets. That one is almost coming to an end. I believe it's like a 6 or 8 point game, if I'm not mistaken. Let's put that one on real quick. Yeah, it looks like it'll be a 6-point game now. I apologize. ESPN is behind, but let's go back to the Nets and the Hawks game. This will be the one that we close out the night on. Once again, I appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. This is my first ever live stream, so I appreciate the support, appreciate the love. We'll probably be back in the next couple of nights with some more NBA games to watch, and hopefully a better streaming service or better streaming platform than this. Not platform, but a better visuals and stuff. I'll try to work on that. We got Cam Thomas in the paint taking a little mid-range hook shot, gets that one to go. It's a 6-point game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, and we have Trae Young bringing the ball up the court. Looks like that's Jalen Wilson guarding him there. Cam Thomas, 26 points tonight, 22 shot attempts. Very efficient, though. Sometimes you get a Cam Thomas game where it's just not efficient, not very good. I'll bring you to the box score because this feels like a more accurate representation of what we're watching right now, just so you can see how all these individual players are doing. We got Dennis Schroeder taking a little mid-range jumper on the baseline. That one is no good. Rebounded by Cam Johnson. He will be fouled. That one almost went in for an and one. I'm sorry, that's not Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is 2. Jalen Wilson is 22. That was Jalen Wilson who gets fouled. Jalen Wilson, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. 14 points. This is probably one of his best showings of his NBA career. His young NBA career, in fact. So that is always good to see. Let's keep watching this one. Trae Young, 6 for 14 tonight, 20, 11, and 5. Just good stuff all around from all the guys. I did not notice this. Onyeka Okongwu has 20 points tonight. Okay. Looks like he's been getting the majority of the minutes over Clint Capella. That's very good. I don't remember if Onyeka Okongwu has an extension yet. I would bet he does, just not a very expensive one. Let me pause that real quick. Sorry, that one was bothering me. Either way, he's been having a very good game. It looks like he just made that other shot before we started watching. Trae Young has the ball. It's still a 6-point game, 110 to 104. Looks like we have Jalen Johnson on the wing, down the baseline, going against DFS. Gets blocked by Dorian Finney-Smith. He gets the rebound. Dennis Schroeder bringing the ball up the court here. It is a 6-point game. Anything can happen in the NBA, and there's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Of course, looks like Dennis Schroeder is going to go down the baseline, finds Cam Thomas. Thomas drives to the paint, gets it to go. 4-point game here with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. the Nets making it a little bit of a game here. As you can see from the delayed scoreboard on ESPN, the Hawks are pulling away in the fourth quarter. Nets starting to make a small little comeback here. About 2 minutes left in the game. Trae Young going to work on Jalen Wilson. Behind the back to wide open Dyson Daniels, who misses the shot. Beautiful pass from Trae Young. However, that one is off from Dyson Daniels. Nets have a chance here to bring it to a one-possession game. Cam Thomas going to work. Oh, that one's going to be off of, I believe, Cam Thomas. That was on Onyeka Okongwu, keeping up very well with Cam Thomas. That was very good defense. Almost forces a turnover. However, that one's going to be off of that's going to be off of Onyeka Okongwu. Beautiful pass from Trae Young, as we're seeing right here. That's just a gorgeous behind the back. Unfortunately, Dyson Daniels does not capitalize off the wide open look. On the inbound here, Dorian Finney-Smith gives it up to Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson, 3 misses. Almost rebounded from Jalen Wilson. Let's see the call from the referee. Whose ball is it? Looks like it's going to stay with Brooklyn here. That's great hustle from Jalen Wilson to get the ball out the hands of Jalen Johnson. And now the ball will stay with the Nets. Dorian Finney-Smith has the ball. Gives it up to Cam Thomas here at the top of the key. Thomas driving. Goes for the layup. Rejected emphatically by Onyeka Okongwu. Now Trae Young here. Trae Young at the logo. Waiting for... In fact, that's going to be a wide open look there for, I believe that's Dyson Daniels. I can't properly see because he's on the other side of the court. Offensive rebound by Onyeka Okongwu, even with the miss, and he gets fouled. Wow. Very good sequence there from the Hawks. We have 1:20 left from this game. Cam Thomas almost got that layup. Great rejection there from Onyeka Okongwu. Leads to an open three. That was from Jalen Johnson. My apologies. That was from Jalen Johnson. He misses it. Onyeka Okongwu, a great effort, both defensively and offensively. Gets the offensive rebound. He's going to the line. It is a 4-point game still. He makes it now a 5-point game after making his first of 2 free throws. If this is a closing lineup for the Hawks, I am perfectly fine with that. Onyeka Okongwu has looked incredible tonight. He's done great. Once again, apologies for the slow ESPN ticker. The score is 111 to 106. The Atlanta Hawks are up with 1:20 left. Onyeka Okongwu drills that next free throw. It's going to be 112 to 106 now. With 1:20 left, Dennis Schroeder brings the ball up the court at the top of the key. He was about to give it off to, I believe that's Cam Johnson. Yes, that is. However, he's pushed down by DeAndre Hunter. That's going to be a foul on the floor. Not sure if they're in the bonus. They are, it looks like. So Cam Johnson, yes, they are. My apologies. Cam Johnson will go to the line for a chance to bring it back to a 4-point game. Once again, thank you all for coming into the stream. At the end of this game, I am going to be logging off. However, I definitely will be back. This has definitely been a great experience. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with me tonight as I watch these games. I was going to do it alone anyway, so thank you all for watching me here. Looks like we got Cam Johnson at the line. He makes the first of 2 free throws. If he makes this one, it's back to a 4-point game. Cam Johnson, free throw, that one is good. It is a 4-point game, 112 to 108. The Hawks do have the lead. Trae Young has the ball from the inbound. Goes across the half court. Jalen Wilson will be guarding him, as he has for the majority of this game. Looks like Cam Thomas guarding. Dyson Daniels does a spin move, finds Onyeka Okongwu. They're going to reset the offense here. Trae Young comes out, goes for a pick and roll. It's a blocking foul on Cam Johnson. And it looks like Trae Young will be going to the line. Actually, I believe they had a foul to give, potentially. Let's see here. Yep, that's definitely a blocking foul by Cam Johnson. Looks like the Nets are going to be reviewing the call here to see if it's a blocking foul. Obviously, this is one of the most crucial calls in the game. If the Nets get this one right, then they will potentially get the ball back. It's still a 2-possession game. Once again, one last final check around the league real quick. We got the Orlando Magic with a huge lead over the Miami Heat. 30-point lead. Probably will be a 30-point victory. I'm not sure if this game went final. It did not. The Milwaukee Bucks still up by 16 with 3 minutes left. Pretty much no chance for the 76ers to come back unless there's a huge miracle. Now, this would need a miracle for the Raptors to come back. 30-point victory for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just an overall great performance. As we were talking about earlier with these guys, Karis LeVert 8 for 9 from the field, Ty Jerome 6 for 7 from the field, 46% from three, 59.3% from the field. Just an overall, just outclassing the Raptors in every single way. I'm definitely going to be watching this game, but I'm definitely not making a video on this because this team sucks. Looking at this game, the Hornets have taken a lead on the Rockets. I won't stick around for this game, but I do advise you guys to watch this game. This one's going to be likely a very good finish here. Şengün's had a very great game. 23 points, 15 boards. Jalen Green's at 18, but no other starters in double figures. Freddie VanVleet, 2 for 10, 0 for 6 from 3. Not what you like to see. Jabari Smith Jr. not being aggressive outside the 3-ball. Again, not what you like to see. A little bit of Reed Shepherd minutes. He does get his first official NBA basket, but he also has 3 turnovers tonight and 3 fouls. Not the best. Jacques Landale gets some minutes. That's nice. Cam Whitmore got a couple minutes. Amen Thompson looks very nice. Dylan Brooks with a plus 17 is pretty crazy when his team's down by 2. So maybe put Dylan Brooks back on the floor. I don't know. Just a suggestion. Memphis is up 43-37 on the Utah Jazz. Again, the return of John Morant. He's at 9, 4, and 4. That's what you like to see from your superstar player. Getting it done in all the ways. Jake LaRavia's got 5. That's nice. And then we look through the Utah Jazz. Keontae George 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. However, looks like Lauri Markkanen's having a pretty nice game, as is Colin Sexton. Cody Williams, his first official points come from a free throw. Still waiting for his first official shot attempt. Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench, 3 for 8. Yeah, this makes sense. I'd say most of these results make sense. There's nothing too shocking other than the fact that the Hornets are playing it pretty close with the Rockets, and the fact that the Magic are going to blow out the Miami Heat in game number 1. Now, of course, this is all game number 1. My opinions are probably going to change next week. Some of these teams that look good probably won't look as good as they do right now. Miami Heat, I bet you won't look this bad. They won't look this bad in just a couple weeks. As we come back to the Nets and Hawks game, the review was upheld. It was deemed a blocking foul. Trae Young went to the line, went 1 for 2. Dennis Schroeder drives down the floor, and it looks like he gets stripped, and it looks like the ball is off of him. That's huge, actually. Looks like the Hawks will get possession back. Trae Young running down the floor. They're going to try to foul him, and it looks like they do foul him, force him to go back to the line. Dennis Schroeder fumbling the ball there while in the paint. He had a pretty good look at the rim, but he fumbled the ball, couldn't get it to go, turned the ball over. The Hawks now in firm control. This is a 5-point game now, and yeah. Trae Young at the line, almost automatic. He did miss that last one, however, but almost automatic in pretty much every single way. So we'll keep looking here, as looks like Trae Young will take the second one, and he will miss it. Trae Young has missed the second one both times, however, does not matter. The Hawks get the offensive board. Hawks are up by 6 with about 30 seconds left in this game. They are double-teaming Trae Young, trying to get a trap. Onyeka Okongwu wide open under the paint. This game is over. Onyeka Okongwu with an emphatic slam. 8-point game with 27 seconds left. You need to see a miracle from the Nets here if they want to win this game, but it's not happening. It's a Brooklyn Nets. So Cam Thomas drives to the paint. He gets it to go. So maybe things aren't completely over. They need a miracle here. They need Trae Young to miss both free throws. However, the game is most likely over. Oops, I accidentally went to MLB. I am thinking about the MLB, of course. World Series is going to be very fun to watch. Right now, though, looking through these games, Rockets retook the lead. I might. No, I won't stick around for this one. 23-18 for Şengün is crazy, though. The Bulls are up on the Pelicans, though. I'm going to go past my word. I think I will stay for these games. I can't leave 2 close games like that, so I will stay for these games. In fact, I'm probably about to turn this Hawks game off. It is an 8-point game with 20 seconds left. I will make sure and double-check to see if these Brooklyn Nets games, if this Brooklyn Nets game does continue to keep going. However, it looks like Trae Young's about to ice it with the free throw. That is an 8-point game. And looks like Cam Thomas going down the floor. Let's see what Cam Thomas does. Pull up 3. That one is good, so I guess I can't turn it off quite yet. I don't know. I'll put that game on in the background real quick. Put that game on in the background while we look at this. Oh no, I'm sorry. That Bulls game is not close at all. I don't know why that ticker said that. The bottom ticker, that one right there, where it said 81 to 80, it is 115 to 101. So that one's not close. This game, however, is extremely close. We have we have the Rockets up by 3 over the Hornets. I will stick around for this game. You know, I love basketball, so and I don't want to miss any time with you guys, of course. So, looks like I'll keep this Hawks game on in the background. Make sure that nothing crazy happens there. But for now, we are paying attention to this Hornets and Rockets game. Haven't watched much of this one because the early window games have been so intriguing. However, it looks like this one has a potential to maybe have the best finish of the night. Rockets and the Hornets. Şengün, as you see, is having a ridiculous game. And it looks like the Hornets will have the ball with about 5 minutes left to go. LaMelo's bringing it up on the floor. Dylan Brooks guarding him. Looks like we're going to have... who is that? That is Trey Mann, of course. Or is it Trey Mann? Yes. Trey Mann with the baggy jersey. I respect it. In fact, I like it a lot. It's really a 2000s vibe. And the baggy shorts, too. I like it. Charles Lee looks like he's putting on a coaching masterclass. The fact that they're even close with the Rockets is extremely surprising, especially considering how well Alperen Şengün is playing tonight. Jabari Smith backing down Trey Mann. The shot just does not go, very short. And LaMelo Ball is bringing the ball up the court now. There's 4:12 left in this game. Looks like that is a Grant Williams. Grant Williams looks like he gets fouled. That's a name I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard in a while. I feel like I don't hear anything about Grant Williams after he left the Celtics. Went to the Mavericks, obviously got traded to the Hornets as a part of that P.J. Washington deal. But I guess being a part of one of the most irrelevant franchises in the league does that to you. So looks like there may have been a jump ball. Actually, no, I'd consider that more foul, but looks like they will call it a jump ball between Amen Thompson and Grant Williams. There is 4:06 left. This game is tied 93 to 93. Looks like we have Trey Mann right there. Nope, that's Seth Curry. Seth Curry, sorry, both are wearing headbands and somewhat baggy jerseys. Looks like we got LaMelo Ball up here, Nick Richards, Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and Trey Mann is the lineup here that they're going with. Looks like LaMelo Ball just had to throw the ball up, shot clock violation. However, so the Rockets will get the ball. 3:51 left in this game, tie game. Let's double check that Nets and that Hawks game real quick. Again, this is behind, but I wouldn't expect this game to be very close at this point in time. I understand the Hawks just took a timeout there, probably because of an inbound play. Fred VanVleet wide open for 3, gets it to go. It's a 3-point lead. My apologies looking at that Brooklyn Nets game when it's probably over at this point. However, I will double check that. Yeah, it looks like the Hawks are up by 4 points. So, you know, the Nets did make a little small comeback. Valiant, however, it looks like it will be short-lived. And ultimately, they will lose this game. Let's continue looking through it here. Overall, very good game from Trae Young, 28, 12, and 5. That's just something you like to see from one of your main guys. As well as Onyeka Okongwu, 6th overall pick 4 years ago. Someone who hasn't really been, Someone who hasn't really been at the forefront of this Hawks team for the past couple of years. However, now it looks like he's getting a more prominent role. Oh, wow. Okay, well, this game is actually a lot closer than what I thought it was. I did not know that Cam Thomas hit that three-pointer. Of course, the one game that I leave early is the one game that things get interesting. However, the Hawks did make 2 free throws after that, made 3-pointer. It is a 4-point game with 2 seconds left. We will continue watching what goes on here. Looks like Trae Young's talking to Onyeka Okongwu. The Nets do have the ball, so they need a big-time miracle here. They need a quick shot, a turnover, and then another quick shot. That's just extremely unlikely. And if we keep looking around here, they throw it up for Cam Thomas. Jalen Johnson grabs it. And, yep, that is the ball game. If you had the Hawks in your parlay, congratulations. I would have put them in there too. So, now let's get back to this extremely exciting Rockets and Hornets game. I know a lot of people pretty high on the Hornets coming into the year. Good young core, good head coach, good young head coach, in fact. So I know some people were pretty high on them entering the year. However, while they were behind early in this game, looks like they've made a pretty solid comeback in the second half. Only a 3-point game. That's extremely exciting to see as a Hornets fan. Well, I'm not a Hornets fan, but if you're a Hornets fan, that must be extremely exciting to see. LaMelo has a 27-10-6. And you also have to recognize most of this is without Brandon Miller. He left the game with, I believe it was left hip soreness. As Trey Mann gets rid of the defender, gets the step back three to go. All of a sudden, we are tied once again with about 3 minutes left to go in this game. Trey Mann with a ridiculous move and a ridiculous shot to silence the home crowd in Houston. Fred VanVleet in the paint, jumps into the block attempt from Nick Richards, draws a foul. He'll be going to the line. If I'm not mistaken, Fred VanVleet's not had a great game. Yep. 4 for 16 from the field. 4 for 16. That is a ridiculously terrible line from Fred VanVleet. Jalen Green has taken 14 threes this game. So that's not exciting to see. In his last preseason game, I saw he made a lot. In fact, I was there. He made 4 3-pointers in the third quarter. Very good stuff from Jalen Green in the preseason. However, in the regular season, shots just not falling as much as it was. 0 assists. That's concerning. So, Fred VanVleet does get those 2 free throws to go. Looks like the Rockets will have a 2-point lead. Little under 3 minutes left in the game. Trey Mann, Dylan Brooks on him. Trey Mann drives to the hole, gets it to go. Trey Mann with a great move. First the step back 3 in the previous possession, then the driving layup over Dylan Brooks. This game is tied up once again, and Trey Mann has 22 points tonight. Ridiculous to know that he was on the Thunder's bench this whole time. Gets traded for Gordon Hayward. And I'm pretty sure a pick was involved with that as well. But he gets traded for Gordon Hayward, and now he's thriving on the Hornets. Good for Trey Mann. It looks like in that last possession, I believe that was Amen Thompson who missed. Or no, I'm sorry. That was Jalen Green who missed the 3. Little short. So Alperen Şengün's coming into the floor. LaMelo Ball took a ridiculously long 3-pointer. He gets his own offensive rebound, and Amen Thompson is down on the ground. He's getting back up, good to go, just a little shaken up. But LaMelo Ball takes a ridiculously long 3, grabs his own rebound, gets a wide open layup. The lead is now Charlotte's. They are up 100-98. Fred VanVleet misses a wide open top of the key 3. And all of a sudden, the Hornets have a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Trey Mann, the spin out. Pass to Seth Curry. He misses the 3. An offensive rebound. And a 30-footer from LaMelo Ball goes in. Top of the key. And the Hornets have a 5-point lead with 1:40 left. Wow. What a turn of events there for the Charlotte Hornets. Down by double digits, I believe, in the second quarter. Now they've come back. LaMelo Ball drills a deep 3-pointer. And all of a sudden, the Rockets, choking away their lead, now down by 5 points with just 2 minutes left in this game. What a turn of events there. After seeing Şengün's stat line, I thought, oh, wait, this game is just over. Şengün has 25 and 18. There's no reason for this game to be in reach. Fred VanVleet, 4 for 16 tonight. Jalen Green, 7 for 20, 5 for 14 from 3. And all of a sudden, this game is back within reach for the Charlotte Hornets to take. In fact, they're likely favored now to win this game. After the great contributions from LaMelo Ball, hitting that deep 3, getting his own rebound, getting a wide open layup, and Trey Mann with the extremely clutch step back 3 in the great layup over Dylan Brooks. This game is now a 5-point game. Looks like the Houston crowd's getting excited, getting ready for the final 2 minutes of action. If you enjoyed this stream, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Of course, this will be the last game that we are looking at, and I do appreciate all the support we've had today. As for now, we're just going to be watching the final 2 minutes of this game, and then I'm going to let you guys go watch the late window, which has already started. It looks like that Memphis and Utah game is about to go to half. In this game, it says it's 81-80, but The Pelicans were up by double digits the last time I checked in the fourth quarter. So it seems like that score bug is bugged from ESPN. However, looks like Portland got out to a pretty early lead against Golden State. The Clippers have a 1-point lead over Phoenix. However, again, very early in the first quarter there, Jalen Green drives to the basket, gets the and one over his defender. Great move from Jalen Green there. I was just talking crap, and he just proved me wrong. Jalen Green over, I believe that was that was a switch off from Grant Williams. Grant Williams tries to get the block, gets contact on Jalen Green. Jalen Green makes the finish and one. Has a chance to bring this back to a 2-point game, as he does. Minute 29 left in this game. Rockets down by 2. This would be one of the biggest upsets of it. In fact, this would be the upset of the day if the Hornets do take down the Rockets at home. At Houston in the Toyota Center. We see LaMelo Ball at the top of the key. Dillon Brooks guarding him closely, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Grant Williams. Grant Williams is calling for an overturn, saying that Dillon Brooks potentially flopped off that screen. I don't know if that's much of a foul there. You know, it was a hard screen, kind of put his shoulder out. I can see why they called that a foul now. Did kind of lead his shoulder in. I could see why they called that a foul. However, Charles Lee will not be reviewing that. In fact, I believe they can't because it's within 2 minutes. So, Şengün has the ball, gives it off to Jalen Green. Jalen Green, the mid-range, pull up, got it. 103-103 with 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. This is why I stuck around, folks, because I wanted to see a game like this. Tre Mann comes in. Tre Mann grabs a screen from Grant Williams. Grant Williams at the top of the key hands it off to LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball drives. Grant Williams open. Gets Şengün to pump fake. Gets the 3 to go. Grant Williams gets Şengün to bite on the pump fake. Gets a sidestep 3-pointer. And all of a sudden, the Hornets have a 3-point lead. And they are calling that an offensive foul, I believe. No, they're calling it the Hornets ball. Şengün went for a behind-the-back pass, ran into Tre Mann, was not able to grab the bad pass. The ball went straight to a Hornets player who immediately called timeout as they knew it was going to lead to a little scrum of players trying to grab the rebound. Hornets call the timeout. They have a 3-point lead with about 45 seconds left, if I'm not mistaken. Grant Williams with the huge 3-pointer. As you can see on the replay here, Şengün goes for the behind-the-back pass, saved by Grant Williams. Before Dillon Brooks can get it to be a jump ball, potentially, Grant Williams calls timeout. 33.1 seconds left on the clock. The Hornets will have possession. Rockets look dejected on the bench. They do not look like they're ready to win this game, if I'm being completely honest with you. However, still a lot of game to play left. And ultimately, this game is going to come down to how the Hornets can manage the clock here. It'll come down to the free throws, if they can make some of them. And be very interesting to see. No Brandon Miller, no problem for the Hornets so far. They have a 3-point lead over the Rockets after a very great second half. They're leading by 14 points total in the second half, now up by 3 points after being down by 11 in the half, or at half, excuse me. This would be a very big upset for the Hornets. The Rockets, one of the better teams out west, one of the teams that we many are looking forward to seeing out west here, maybe being a potential play-in team. Last year they were the 11th seed, but they had one of the best years in recent memory. They have a young core, re-upped some of them just yesterday. They have solid veterans. This is a team that a lot of people were looking to make a jump. However, they're now down by 3 to the Hornets. Let's see here. We have Tre Mann with the ball up front with Jalen Green guarding him. Looks like the Rockets are going to play this one out. Of course you do. It's only a one-possession game. So, Tre Mann has a ball, center court, 7 seconds left. Tre Mann, using some handles, gets by Green, goes to the paint, misses the layup, but it's going to be rebounded by Mann. And LaMelo Ball has the ball with 7.1 seconds left, and he is fouled. The Hornets get a crucial offensive rebound after the miss from Tre Mann. And the Hornets have a chance to make this a 2-possession game now as LaMelo Ball goes to the line. Tre Mann put the moves on Jalen Green there. Got a good look at a layup, missed it, but he ultimately did get his offensive rebound after some tip around. after the ball was tipped around. Gets the ball to LaMelo. LaMelo is ultimately fouled. They did have a foul to give, though. But it looks like they will foul LaMelo again. I don't know if they have another foul. Nope. Looks like that will bring LaMelo to the line. 6.6 seconds left on the clock. ESPN is a little ahead of me, as you can see. And here we go. LaMelo Ball back for the free throw. He makes the first one. Alperen Şengün in the game for Jalen Green. Interesting choice there, because Jalen Green's probably going to be one of your better three-point threats, but maybe they aren't even going for the three-point game. So, oh no, looks like Amen Thompson leaves the game. Okay, makes sense. All right. We have a second free throw coming up for LaMelo Ball here. As ESPN has spoiled it for you, they will make it. It looks like potentially the Hornets could escape Houston with a victory. That would be huge. LaMelo Ball, 12 points in the fourth quarter, 34 altogether. This was a star showing here. This is the reason why LaMelo Ball gets paid the big bucks, folks, because he just led a fourth quarter comeback against one of the best up-and-coming teams in the NBA. The Houston Rockets here call their final timeout with 6.6 seconds left. Going to try to draw up a play here. Likely a three-point shot. And overall, there's still a chance for the Rockets to come back here, but if the Hornets do hold on, this is just a great sign for the Charles Lee era to go to Houston to beat a team that was projected to beat you by at least 6 or 7 points, and to do it all without Brandon Miller for the majority of the game. That is just a great sign, and it's something great to see, potentially a culture being built in Charlotte. A lot of good young players there. And Charlotte's unfortunately been mismanaged for about the past decade. And in fact, they've been mismanaged for about 30 years. So to see them potentially thrive here, potentially get a win over the Rockets in Houston to start the season, very good. All right, as we come back here from the timeout, 108 to 103, Charlotte Hornets are leading with about 6 seconds, I believe there's about, 6.6 seconds left. As you can see, ESPN's a little ahead of me. We won't go to play-by-play so we don't see what happens, however. We will see what happens here. This could very well be the end of the game for the the Rockets. We'll see if they can potentially make a comeback here. Ball goes to Jabari Smith. He's fouled on the three-pointer. That is a big turn of events there, folks. Jabari Smith fouled on the three-pointer by Grant Williams. Grant Williams is calling for a replay. I don't believe they can replay with 2 minutes left in the game. Jabari Smith got the ball off the inbound. I would probably call it a foul. It's honestly pretty close, but there's contact on the arm, so I don't know why Grant Williams was calling for it. Jabari Smith does miss the first free throw, though. That is a huge miss. And it looks like Jabari Smith will still have 2 more free throws here. Keep it within 1 possession, but that first free throw missing is huge. Jabari Smith not having a great game offensively at all. 2 for 7 from the field. And in a time where he needed to hit his free throws, he did not. So, as ESPN has spoiled it for you, looks like Jabari Smith Jr. has made that last free throw. Looks like the Rockets are probably going to have to force a turnover here, or else they'll be playing the free throw game, and that's something you don't want to play. So, it says ESPN says that the Rockets sub a timeout. According to the local broadcast, it says they don't. It says the Hornets are the only team with a timeout. Overall, though, still a 1-possession game. Looks like they will be calling a timeout, the Hornets. Looks like both teams are out of timeouts now. So, the Hornets are going to be drawing up an inbound play here. We will see what they do here. It's been a great slate of games so far. If you haven't been here, we've just been watching all the games tonight, focusing mostly on that Pistons and Pacers game. That wasn't going to be the focus initially, but a lot of good play from the Pistons there in the first half. They just couldn't keep it together in the fourth quarter. Pacers ultimately held on. As you see through the results, Brooklyn kept it close with Atlanta for the majority of the fourth quarter, but Atlanta did pull away. The Magic defeated the Miami Heat by 20 points. That's a great showing from Orlando. Great showing of their offense. Ultimately, that was the key to winning. Paolo had a great game, as always. Milwaukee beat shorthanded Philly by 15. Not too surprising. Cleveland beat Toronto 136-106. Again, not too surprising, though the score may be a little surprising considering it's only the first game of the season and they lost by 30. And that New Orleans and Chicago game is that score bug is messed up. Let me see. No, they don't give us the final score here. However, Brandon Ingram finishes with 33 points tonight. Great night for Brandon Ingram. They do get the victory. I believe it was a double-digit point win. So just a little recap of all the games so far. Still have some games going on right now. We are going to head off after the conclusion of this game, but Memphis and Utah. Memphis has a little lead at halftime. I will stop talking for a second because Charlotte has their inbound play. They get it in up to Trey Mann, and Trey Mann will be taking the free throws. 3.7 seconds left. Rockets need a miracle. They need him to miss these free throws. Tari Eason is in the game like just to be a body. Long wingspan, great defender. Unfortunately, that could not stop the Hornets from getting that. Trey Mann, once again, I love the aesthetic. Baggy jersey, baggy shorts. Just really 2000s, honestly. And the way he plays, honestly, is very 2000s as well. He has a really crisp handle. Really great scoring option, honestly. Just a good ISO player. So he's been really, other than LaMelo, he's definitely been the MVP of this game for the Hornets, as you can see from those stats. Trey Mann has 23 points right now, going for 24 with this 2 of 2 free throw. That would put the Hornets up by 5 points with 3.7 seconds left. He does make it. No more timeouts for either team at this point. So they're going to need a prayer here. Fred VanVleet throws up a half-court shot. That one is no good. And the Charlotte Hornets escape Houston with a victory. A come-behind victory. They were down by 11 points at halftime. They come back, look great in the fourth quarter. And despite not having Brandon Miller, they still get the job done. LaMelo Ball with an incredible game. 10 for 20 from the field, 4 for 12 from 3. 34 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. A great victory to have in your first game of the season. So with that, I advise you to watch some more basketball. However, I will be heading off. I do appreciate all the support today. This is my first ever live stream, so appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys coming in. Had a fun time tonight. We'll definitely do this sometime in the future. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later.